Derivative still.
There she is. There she is.
Whoa, what?
Welcome. Welcome to Jimmy's.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Would you make me some of that Plomeek soup?
Hello and welcome to Plomeek Teatime number 75, where we're exploring the movie that inspired Fallout video game series and Mad Max Road Warrior. And that movie is called A Boy and His Dog. It was released in 1975 and it's based on a novella by Harlen Ellison. Yes, Harlen Ellison, who also created the story behind the wonderful Star Trek episode City on the Edge of Forever. The screenplay was written by L.Q. Jones, who also directed the movie. Yeah, he also directed it. He wrote it and directed it, and really Ellison was trying to write the screenplay, but he couldn't do it. So that's how this guy got involved. Because I suppose Harlan actually wrote this novella specifically to make it a film adaptation, and that's how this happened. And I'm talking about this movie because on Tuesdays, well, because Scotty suggested it, but also because on Tuesdays I'm exploring a positive and hopeful vision of the future in the series For All Mankind. So today we're dialing it back to look at a dystopic future set in the current year today, 2024. And so this is the alternative post-apocalyptic world in which JFK was not assassinated. And this is the opposite alternate history for all mankind because the space race is completely skipped, with advancements on robots and animal intelligence taking precedence instead. As a result, the ensuing Cold War is more violent. A nuclear war nearly takes out civilization, and that's how we find a boy, Vic, and his telepathic dog, Blood.
Albert.
Albert, yes. And welcome to the panel, Tiger Stripes. I want to thank the my panel who decided to talk to me today about this movie.
Hey, y'all. Woof.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. And normally, when one of the things I like to do when we talk about a movie is ask you how you first came across this movie.
I was a fan of Harlan's, reading his literature probably since a teenager, and this movie, was released and I went to see it in the theater. I had to go down to the university area. Was I a student then? And go to a small indie house at Dobie Mall to see it. So, I had to really find it to see it.
Oh, you had to. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't,
but I'm glad you
open
found
everywhere,
it.
is what I'm trying to say. A lot of these films that now are really huge, and everybody talks about them like this and Rocky Horror. Back in the day, they didn't play everywhere. You had to go to one theater in town to see the film that you wanted to see, and then afterward, it was the kind of film that would play at small local conventions as a midnight movie, which again, back in the day, wasn't as easy as it is now. It meant that somebody had reel and somebody had a camera, and they would have to set it up and actually project it. Like in the movie.
Yeah,
I
was just going to say.
Yes. So
that's perfect. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I feel
I just found out about this movie recently and just watched it for the first time last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
what
it was
your take on it?
And my initial take on it was I was wondering at first if the boy was just hallucinating the dog talking to him, and then it became very clear that no, that this dog really was telepathic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's an incredible kind of movie. I enjoy it, but I want to hear how Scotty R37 first saw this movie.
Well, I had been familiar with the VHS box in my local video store, and I had heard things about the movie. But it wasn't until I got an iPod Nano, a video Nano. So it had a screen the size of a postage stamp. Quite the opposite environment than Tiger. And so I found this video podcast that had public domain films that were just available for download. And so I watched it on my lunch break over 3 days when I was working at a bank. But like on a park bench with this, like this smaller than your thumb screen. And that is, but the headphones are great. So the sound was fantastic. But yeah, that is how I first watched A Boy and His Dog. And the second time I watched it was much better. It was today on a 50-inch television screen. So it was an upgrade, and I liked it both times.
Well, yeah, you were raving about this movie, and I didn't know you were watching it on a postage stamp.
Yes.
So, so Tony from Stark of Iron is here also, and I want to hear about his story about the first time he's seen this movie.
I think it was at a drive-in of all places, and I was very, very young. I was, in the back of the truck, in the bed of the truck, and it was a double feature, and I can't remember the film that came before it, but it was just when I saw it, it just came across to me as pretty weird. It was an interesting take seeing that on the screen. Like, I was playing video games and some of them were, a post-apocalyptic, and, like Final Fantasy, I think 3 was very post-apocalyptic by nature. Like, there was a big civilization. They went, CC ruins everywhere. And like just seeing a concept of our civilization like that was like one of my first real exposures to what it would be like to be in a savage land that was once, formerly a civilized one for all of its benefit and losses, respectively. And, the dog was like the herald for Galactus. He was the herald for Vic. He wanted to make sure that Vic got food and Vic got laid. And
yes, it was a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, it's very symbiotic. And like what you were saying, that it could have been just a hallucination from the kid, is not the case. There is a telepathic link between him and Blood, and
yeah, they think alike, which I think is maybe a reference to the fact that the kid basically grew up wild, having his parents not around when he was growing up. He's just
very
basically
feral. Yeah, very feral. Not as feral as the feral kid from Road Warrior, but pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's because all of the the reason why he's not as feral is because Blood was there to teach him at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like,
what's not immediate?
Here's your life advice. Now go screw that chick. Have fun.
Yeah, well, that's basically what Vic's life was about: is eating, surviving, and reproducing, just like the basic animal instincts.
Yep.
Oh, in the novella, it's made clear that Blood has taught Vic how to do his numbers and how to read and write, which gives him a real edge over just about everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, even the girl from the underground was impressed that Vic knew his history.
Mm-hmm.
And
Baba
it also
June?
it also means
Eloise
that
June?
Blood has an elevated intelligence over the average dog. He is more than a dog.
That's right. And that's because of a series of experiments that were done on animals. And so that's how this is a science fiction. So we've seen this kind of post-apocalyptic science fiction story where there's science experiments and the world's come to, civilization has been torn asunder. but a lot of that inspiration comes from this movie.
Yes.
And
And it accurately, like A Boy and His Dog accurately predicted the fan discourse over Star Wars television shows, because we can see on screen right now a nuclear holocaust. And so that is exactly what was brought to the world.
yes,
in
and it's also
2024.
it's hilarious also. Like the
Yes.
dialogue between the boy and his dog. It's
Yes.
pretty funny. But very dark.
Do you think that Blood is like a forerunner for Brian Griffin?
Oh, that's a not a bad idea.
Because he is kind of Jiminy Cricket. It's great.
Well, yeah, that's basically all the kid has in so far is someone to help him go through. Like no, there are no heroes in this movie. The kid is extremely immoral.
Yes. Oh, we'll
And
get to
I
that.
know.
Much less so than in the book. In the book, he's quite savage. It's,
Oh, really?
I was surprised.
Whoa,
Yeah, I reread it.
he's toned down.
And oh yeah, and
I want to
was kind of
think.
surprised at the violence in the book.
Before we talk about that, I want to thank Max Redstone for the $2 super chat when all of the explosions.
Max.
Good to see
There
you,
we go.
Max.
World War IV lasted 5 days.
I love how they jumped to 4.
Yeah,
It's
because
crazy.
World War III took like 33 years.
Ended in 1983, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
And that, you know what? In this post-apocalyptic tale, the fall of the Iron Curtain was actually, 6 years early.
Here's the first joke of the movie.
Yes.
Turn it into a
Politicians
parking lot.
had finally
Paved
Well,
paradise.
what in War Day they call the Great Glass Plane.
Politicians had finally solved the problem of urban blight. But you know what? I also have to say hello to the chat. And
Yes.
Franco Walker is here. He says, please subscribe, hit the bell, share, hit like, and select live chat.
True.
Also, greetings from the Edge of Time is here. Hello, Edge of Time. As well as Lemon Pie. Hey, Lemon.
Good day,
Lemon.
everyone.
Edge of Time says Vic carried a modified Springfield M 1903. Sorry if I don't know how to say that correctly. 1903 rifle. This rifle was fitted into a
Mannlicher.
Mannlicher.
No, Mannlicher. It's Mannlicher.
Lyman deep sight.
Thank
I
you,
only know that
Tony.
because of the Mannlicher Carcano, which was the rifle used to allegedly assassinate John F. Kennedy.
Oh, wow. I wonder if that's some kind of something.
No, it's just fun to say Mannlicher.
Mm-hmm. It is. RVM 371 says, didn't get a wink of sleep, but screw it. Yeah,
Well,
I got
join
2
the
hours.
club. Join
Yep,
the club.
2.
I'll be passing back out after this.
Yeah, I'm really good at sleeping, so I managed a couple hours.
That's
Me
pretty
too.
good.
Seen this movie once, but it's been a minute. Says RVM. Hey, don't blame yourself. It was not you. It was me. Which would be contrary to the plot because there are not a lot of fat people in this movie. Wait, what? What did he say?
Oh, there are some.
Oh, it's Fat Albert. That.
Oh, Fat Albert. Here.
Okay, so I thought. Okay, so I had a wrong idea in this movie because
Only one.
Vic. Well, maybe more than one, but throughout the movie, Blood was calling Vic Albert, and so I thought that Vic was so simple-minded that Blood was calling him Albert, like Albert Einstein, sarcastically. But apparently, I'm wrong. According to Harlen Ellison, when Blood calls Vic Al or Albert, he's referring to Albert Payson Terhune, dog stories where a traditional boy and his dog relationship is turned upside down in this movie.
Yes.
So I gotta.
He, yeah. Albert Payson Terhune famously wrote Lad, a Dog, which is kind of interesting because I haven't ever read it. When you look into it, it's, this big shaggy border collie who, I don't know if he's anthropomorphized, but he constantly, chapter 1, he tries to save someone or something or some other animal, and it's misconstrued, and he's seen as being the attacker, and they're about to beat him when they realize, oh no, he's the hero. And then you just repeat this every chapter, where he just saves somebody new. And they're like, oh, that darn dog. Look, he tried to attack the baby. Oh no, there's a snake nearby. He's a hero. So that was the referral to Albert Payson Terhune, which I had never known either before this.
Well, and without context from the book, I always thought that Vic was saying, "My name is Vic. Stop calling me Albert." But because they had a what do you call it? Telepathic connection. It was like, no. I know your real name. It is what you would call yourself if you had a choice. Like, that is your name. I know you. I'm in your brain. When you think of yourself as being Albert. Shut up. My name is Vic. And I just it was a matter of superiority between Blood and Albert. Is that Blood knows Albert better than himself?
I think they refer Payson Terhune in the book. But I read it like day before yesterday.
Yeah, that makes sense if it's in the book.
A really long time ago.
It's only 77 pages. I should have just read it. I want to say hello to Snorty Pupus.
It's a long short story. It's technically a novella.
Hey, Snorty.
Pupus!
Snorty!
Did you know that a gathering of polar bears is called a celebration? And a gathering of one Snortopupus is also called such.
And the other thing that I learned, are you still greeting chat? Should we continue to
I am a little bit. I want to say hello to Gavin Blackburn. Max Redstone says,
Maxie.
He says that. And I have tried to have a nap earlier. It failed, says Franco Walker. And I just want to address everybody who's here. Let's see who else is here. Lunch. I just had my tea. Yeah, that's right. People in the UK are having dinner usually while I'm streaming.
I thought it was just hot brown water.
Oh, okay. Max Redstone says, I wish I could stay. I have to do a video demo for a friend of mine in about an hour. But I have to say, in this topsy-turvy world of the film, that dog does have a good limerick. I did. I thought of you when I heard that limerick.
Did you get the limerick?
No.
Well, then that means you are a woman of good judgment, but not particularly good taste.
That's the best line. That cracked me up the first time I saw this movie.
Oh, everything Blood says is awesome. Thank you for being a friend.
Yes, and thank you, Max, for being a member for 6 months. He also says, I hope everyone had a good 4th and will also have a great weekend.
I had 3 days to come down off of my hangover from July 1st, which is Canada Day. So I had a great 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great 4th last night for sure.
Yeah. It was a
No freezers, no fucking ice cream.
There you go. And then let's see if there's anybody else here. RVM 3371 says, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that originally the boy's name was Crockett and the dog was
Tubbs.
That's cruel. Poor Tubbs.
No! Directed by Michael Mann.
Oh, look, Matt G is here.
Matt G.
Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU and
Doctor Who. I can't wait until August when you can add Alien to that list.
Oh no! I hope that movie's good. That would be
I
great.
think it's going to be. It looks good. It looks good. I'm looking
What
forward
movie's
to
that?
it.
HC
Alien
2005.
Romulus.
Hello.
Oh, no, that will not be good.
Oh. Hello to
cock.
Daniel's. Okay, so I think we're almost.
Danny.
Okay, so girl is random but
Gorilla.
says, "Hey, if that is a little of food that the dog would more delicious." What?
Do you want me
I
to
don't
read
know
it?
what girl is saying.
Oh, he's
All right.
suggesting that the boy would eat the dog. No, that's not how this works.
No, it would be like the deep eating Timothy on The Boys. Like you can't.
Mhm.
Like if you can hear the thoughts of the thing that you're murdering and killing, it would really put your appetite out.
I think it's hilarious. Homelander made him do it. And
I know, but it was so cruel.
I love how he just deadpan looks him dead in the eye and he says, "Deep, eat Timothy."
Eat Timothy. You need a soul, gentlemen and ladies.
So the voice of Blood was almost going to be James Cagney. He said he was going to come out of retirement for this movie, but the director thought people would recognize it too much, so they went with Tim McIntyre, who is a voice actor who also created most of the music in the movie, along with Ray Manzarek from The Doors. And the name of the dog was Tiger, and there's a part of the movie where the actor for Vic and calls him Tiger by his real name.
Oh, he does. I remember that. Why don't you go out there, Tiger?
Mm-hmm.
It's so right off the hop. Don Johnson, again, it's been mentioned, was an icon in the 80s for playing Crockett on Miami Vice.
Yeah,
he was Crockett, right? And this is probably my I think this is my favorite Don Johnson performance, simply because it's the same sort of Mark Hamill energy that you have yelling at a puppet. Like when Mark Hamill is acting with Yoda, it is Mark Hamill's performance that really personifies the puppet. And same deal with Don Johnson yelling at Blood and having conversations with Blood. Like, this is such a stellar performance to make you believe in the world. And as you mentioned, Jill, in terms of, is he hallucinating this? Is this just a crazy man? And the way that they train the dog to, like, I don't know how it looks away. But, and then the voiceovers, like a lot of the movie is dubbed, but this is, I just think that the performance sells it so incredibly.
Yeah, that dog was incredible. You really do feel like he's reacting to the things that he's saying, and he just seems to know when to look in the right direction or go the right way.
One would imagine that they had to take a lot of shots and do a lot of editing to make that happen, to make the illusion of that happen.
Never worked with children or animals.
That dog's a good actor.
it's the Meryl Streep.
Acting is all in the eyebrows.
I heard that he almost won an Oscar for this role, but I can't find the proof of that.
The dog?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
the PETA Awards.
Well, I was again researching this, and it's so funny that things I never ever knew before. It turns out that Blood's name is from an A.E. Housman poem that was in the collection A Shropshire Lad. And it's a really clever pun that sort of informs the spirit of the whole novella. The last line of the poem is, "Clay lies still, but blood's a rover, breath's aware that will not keep. Up, lad, when the journey's over, there'll be time to sleep." So, blood's a rover, because the packs of the men just going are called rovers, and then rover's also a name for a dog. So there's all of these intricate puns, and it also means that Harlen was informed by a Shropshire Lad, which he may have read as a child, and that there's that background, and it just goes pretty deep. It makes the whole work sort of a satire, a parody of a Shropshire lad's idea that there's, a young man wandering idyllically about the countryside, in peace and rest. And instead, there's this. The blasted
if you read
landscape
that
and
poem
everybody
and
scrabbling for food and sex and life.
yeah, if you read that poem and thought that was what this movie was, you might have a problem. I wonder how many parents saw the name of the movie, A Boy and His Dog. Let's take the kids to see that. That should be cute.
It's got to be less
Harlan
depressing than Old Yeller.
Harlan had a story about that, how some older woman took her grandson to the drive-in because there was a boy and his dog, and she thought it was going to be this idyllic, children's film, and she apparently wrote a blistering letter.
Well, I watched this both times. I got it on the internet, and I'm just curious because I think that this is a beautiful film. I really enjoy it. Spoilers in terms of my review, but like, is it more explicit? Is there nudity in, say, the physical release? Because much like Vic, if I can get this version of a movie with nudity, that'd be great.
There's no nudity in your version?
No, I watched it on YouTube. You can't have nudity on YouTube.
Oh no, you should not know. I watched it
so
on the Roku channel, which was also free, and it's available if you have streaming platforms on others. And the print was so far superior.
Oh,
and as well as best I can tell, it looks like it's taken from the Blu-ray because they did have that additional footage of the mushroom clouds, which weren't in the original release at the very beginning of the film, to establish, so everybody can know it's post-apocalyptic.
Yes,
but
but there is like the actual theatrical cut. There's nudity.
Oh yes.
Okay, well then I'm gonna have to get
there
the Blu-ray.
is, but the most graphic nudity is right here at the beginning, because blood is found a girl, but
yes,
unfortunately she's been raped and then cut, and then they cut her so she's just dying. They didn't even kill her.
She's dead. No, she's dead.
No, she's dying.
No, I think she's dead.
Active. Yeah, she is gonna be dead. But when Vic finds her, she's in the act of dying. No, but you hear her moaning.
Look at the line there. She could have been used three or more times.
No, yeah, I'm not saying she didn't die. I'm saying in this particular scene, she's still making noise. She is dying.
You have a good ear.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But
well, and the thing that, like, this was the first malfeasance that I thought from Albert, is that it was like,
yes.
So if they didn't cut her, you would be okay with necrophilia?
I don't think that he would be. That's why he walked
away.
He
said 2 or 3 more times. That's what took me. I was taken aback.
Well, he's an anti-hero. Yeah, he's not he's nobody in this film's particularly a good person.
No. He does atrocious things throughout, yes.
No, but that's part of the dystopia of it, is that women are just like commodities in this dystopic future.
I had a thought about that, and I was curious because I knew Tiger was going to be here, and I knew that you were a woman, Jill. So is it that women are a commodity in the post-apocalypse because they are the fairer, or for lack of a better term, weaker sex, and that they may not be able to survive the harsh nature of the post-apocalypse? Why are they treating women like water? Now, I do know because I'm thirsty all the time, but I'm just curious in terms of the narrative of that. Did you guys or did you ladies get the vibe that women were sort of an endangered species in this world?
That question was levied at you.
You're asking me to make a judgment call here, and all I can tell you is I think years and years ago, they asked college students, men, if they could rape someone with no repercussions whatsoever, would they? And I think like 60% of them said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I'm
And
not part.
so
I'm
you've
part
got
of
a
the
world here
40%.
with no rules at all, and that's kind
Yeah.
of where that goes. It's just, it's the course is kind of savagery.
But
and yeah, if you're a woman in that landscape, you're going to have either have to be in a gang with protection, or you're going to have to be living underground, or you're going to be murdered. And
Most of them went
brutally.
underground. And the underground, of course, gets raided, which of course is where Fallout gets the raiders from. And there's just so much. Yeah, there's a lot of Fallout here. Before I forget, also dog meat is mentioned.
Yes.
Earlier on, and so those aspects that you're talking about, so it's
then
part of how humanity has gone back to primitive times, to animalistic instincts.
Well, and also like the second in command or third in command part of the committee, one of them is a woman, so it's not like there's a complete degradation of human life, no matter what your gender.
You're talking about the underground. That's an entirely different.
We'll get there. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Yeah. You're right.
Sure. Right. We can jump ahead if it's relevant to what we're talking about.
Yeah. No, it makes sense because it is such a sort of parallel towards Fallout. Like we do get, we have a quest: get food, find women, and then as we go along with our companion, we are led astray on a side quest, which takes us to the underground. It is very Fallout. I love it.
Here's the dog meat line.
Fine dog meat, and stop calling me Albert.
Now, another fun little connotation for Fallout is Harold, the ghoul with the tree on his head that eventually takes root and forces him to be stationary in the ground. The tree on his head was very much, it always called him a different name. I can't remember the name right offhand, but he would often make fun of him for using the wrong name, knowing that his real name was Harold. So,
yeah, I can see that.
That's echoes of Escape from New York. Don't call me Harold. But this scavenging on the surface is so intriguing. Like such raiders. Like all I need is a death claw to show up.
And you wonder where all the buildings are. They're all just buried, and so that's why everybody's always digging.
The cinematography is incredible. The production design is incredible. The fact that most of the sets, they are perceived as being underground, but the way that it's filmed, it's like, okay, so that's a barn and you had a ladder. Okay. But they do sell it really, really well. That everything is sort of underground. Like people are digging to find some of the good stuff.
It's interesting how at the beginning here, when they're setting the scene, you see the odd dead body. They don't really come in on it, but it's pretty clear that they're supposed to be dead and fairly newly dead. And it's very casual. They just walk right by them.
Oh, can I do this limerick? Do you have all the lyrics to this limerick?
I can get it. Yes, I have the full script available right here, so I will grab it for you.
It'll start with a curious young fella named Lodge. Hey, Wes Cagle is here.
Cautious.
Greetings and felicitation.
Cautious, young fella.
I will be cautious. I'll do it with the utmost
you
respect.
Said curious.
So, and the script that
Good to see you, Wes.
It has it has who says the line, so every once in a while you're going to see the word dog.
I am a dog.
That for you. All right, perfect. Then this should work out.
Yeah. No, it'll be fine.
Oh, goodness. Yes.
It functions
Wes Cagle. Hello, Wes Cagle. Great to see you here today. And
not for while you can, monkey boy.
Sorry, I'm just playing with buttons.
Wes Cagle sends a member chat, and he says, "Greetings and felicitations."
Yep.
He's been a member for 8 months.
Almost a year.
I know, right?
Yeah. I can't believe I've had
Hey!
membership for almost a year.
And we got Eugene Bird kicking in the chat. That's wicked cool.
Good to see you, Eugene.
You got your limerick. And hello, Eugene Bird.
So this made me laugh out loud. Lol, as the kids say. But Blood says, a cautious young man named Lodge had seat belts installed in his Dodge. When his date was strapped in, he committed a sin without leaving the garage. That's pretty clever, don't you think?
Tee-hee giggle.
Ah, come on, man. It does set the tone for the entire movie.
It fulfills all the requirements of a limerick.
Yes.
One of which that it be dirty.
Is it a haiku?
Limerick.
Oh, okay.
It's a limerick.
Yes.
Did I say haiku?
Well, how do you do?
Gesundheit.
Thank you. And now we enter the movie proper. A boy and his dog. I do like that Albert carries Blood.
Vic.
Yeah.
It's adorable. It is
keep
adorable.
Correcting you. And
what,
it's Vic? Not Albert.
No, but
the character's name is
I'm on Blood's side. I'm on Blood's side. So Albert will work.
The character's name is Vic.
No.
But Blood does call him Albert.
Yeah, so both
and
are...
when he's
Not
frustrated with him. Not consistently, just when he's mostly mad at him.
Yes.
And whenever Vic is mad at Blood, Vic calls him egg sucker.
Or fuzzy butt. Fuzzy butt, furry butt.
Both work. But here, Blood is giving him the history lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Infinity, I agree with you on this one. I do believe that the movie should be called A Dog and His Boy. I absolutely 100% agree with that.
There's some more scavers.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And so, actually, this history lesson is pretty good. So,
it's good exposition for sure. Yeah.
They talk about, let's see, what 3 lasted from. It is that the World War III lasted for 30 years. And
hot and cold. Hey, Penny.
And when things, there was
Penny
armistices signed, everything. She's shopping, right?
Wes Cagle, a boy in his blob, a dude in his horta.
A dude in his horta. Who put that one? So StreamYard's being funky.
Are you being funky? Because I had to go.
Hearing on me.
Oh no.
The StreamYard was. You can. What do you?
I just have to step away for a moment. Use the water closet.
She's Jill. You are kind of roboting a little bit on my end. I don't know how it is for everyone else. The Dock of Death is creeping on you.
You guys mind if I restart and be right back?
We'll hold the fort and you come back. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, because this happened yesterday, and the only way to fix it is a restart. Oh, but before I go, I've got to thank Darius Munchausen for this super sticker. Oh, what did he
generous.
Have a pear, giving me some coffee. Thanks, Darius. We also hear wow and flutter. Wow and flutter? What does that mean? I'll be right back.
I think when the voice goes robotic and there's a little breaking up in the reception, I think that's wow and I think that's flutter. I could be wrong.
Do you hear that now?
No, I do not. I only got like a squidge of it about 4 minutes ago.
Okay, I'm going to try to take less than 4 minutes.
And yeah, it was sort of odd that they chose to put this in Phoenix, and then the underground, which one assumes isn't far from them, is supposed to be in Tulsa. And there's a big stretch between Phoenix and Tulsa. They are not near to each other. It was a little bit of a glitch. I mean, Tulsa could have just called itself Tulsa. It doesn't have to actually be Tulsa.
She'll be back. In the meantime, this segment of the stream was brought to you by the fine folks of Grey Tortoise Cigarettes. What type of a man are you? I'm the type of man that likes to work on my car. I like to put it together and take it apart. Sometimes I forget my kid at soccer practice. Sometimes I even forget to eat. But you never forget to smoke, do you? I never forget to smoke. That's because you're a man's man, a Grey Tortoise man. You don't let parental responsibilities or the need to eat to stop you from getting a job well done. Take a smoke break. You've more than earned it. Grey Tortoise, famous cigarettes, now with a flip-top box. Testing. Can anyone hear me? Is anybody out there? Did you found this version of the media? Mandatory update. Okay. Show. Well, here's some dead air for you fine folks.
Well, now we have just the title, the title screen. I'm not crazy about that font, but I get why it was chosen. It was intended ironic, the same way as the title.
We hear you, Tony. This movie is missing cola. Yes.
And
I'd like
since Scotty's out of the room, we
buy-
can goof on him a bit. The joke's on him that he watched the version with no nudity, knowing how much he loves it.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed. DJ Ronnie G, good to see you. Eugene Bird says, we hear you, Tony. The movie was missing cola. Nuka-Cola Quantum. That's right. It'll make your pee glow. I gotta save my voice for tonight, so I'm not being loud and as boisterous as I normally am.
That's a blessing.
Also, quite tired, but I will be having an after party like always, so gotta save the energy for that. I'm gonna actually take another quick nap in between then and then. So, but yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Welcome back.
Oh, I'll tell a story. I'll tell a story about meeting Harlen. Since we have dead air, I'll tell it now. I worked at the science fiction bookstore in Los Angeles for a brief time, a change of habit. And
Testing.
I was
Can you
in
guys
the
hear me?
back room stripping books. And I think they had told me that Harlen was coming in that day, because Harlen did tend to support science fiction bookstores in Los Angeles. I think monetarily as well as just with his presence. And so I was sitting in the back room stripping books. That meant that you would tear the cover off and send it back to the publisher and get money back. And nobody could bear to do it, so they would have me do it. Somehow I didn't have any problem with this, even though I really do love and revere books. And Harlen walked into the back room, and his first words to me were, "You sit on the floor like that, you're going to get hemorrhoids." And, and I barely had anything to say to him because he was big in my eyes, and I did love his writing and always had, and had an interest in him before that. And then you can flash forward 10, 15 years to the Worldcon, in San Francisco, where I and a couple of friends had the most spectacular suite I've ever stayed at in a hotel. They wrangled it, not me. I didn't have that much to do with getting us that suite. And in the room were Lydia, who owned Dangerous Visions, the bookstore in the Valley, and Sherry, who owned A Change of Hobbit over the hill in LA proper. Actually, by that time she had moved to Santa Monica. And they mentioned at some point that it was the first time they had been together, kind of seen each other in 10 years. Lydia was Sherry's manager at Hobbit. And then at some point, it just came up. I can't quite remember how. I probably told them about sitting on the floor and meeting Harlen for the first time and his crack to me about hemorrhoids. And both of them said, oh, we took Harlen aside before he met you and told him specifically, not this girl. And he protested, and they said, no, she loves you, not this girl. And, and that really put perspective on my first experience with Harlen, something I had never known for years and years and years. All of a sudden comes out that, he'd been shooed away from me.
And briefed.
Yes, and briefed. So that's my meeting Harlen story.
Wow, that's a really good story. And I guess if he didn't get that briefing, it might have been worse.
It might have gone differently. Who knows?
Hail to Penny in the chat and Comic Relief Crusader. Good to see you guys.
And not only that, I'm very happy to see Canadian Spider-Man. He says he's camping and he can't type, but he's here listening. Eugene Bird
He
says
had a fire. He had a fire for our party last night, man.
Yeah,
that was
right,
a fun
bonfire.
Party.
That was cool.
That was
of course.
Fun party, man. That's the first time in a long
time. It was
time
out of this world.
That loose. Yeah, it was very.
It was a good time. Well done. Well orchestrated. So Eugene Bird says, I prefer real romance movies. So this was disappointing for me, but I'll keep quiet and listen to the show. Yeah, no, there is no romance because the morality has gone out the window for this movie.
There's a squidge of romance, particularly in the novella, where it's pretty clear that Vic is falling in love with Quilla June. And and it's completely bowling him over. He has never experienced anything like it before. So there is, there's a squidge. It's kind of what makes it all the more poignant at the end, in the original ending line instead of the one that they put in the film.
Oh, and I do hear that Harlen didn't like that. He doesn't like the film ending.
He fought very hard. He was really involved in women's rights at the time and really becoming aware of all of that. And apparently, according to him and L.Q. Jones, the director, Blood had a lot of misogynistic lines. And when Harlen saw the first cut, he said, I love everything except that, and I need you to take it all out. And L.Q. said, I've got no more budget. I got no money. And Harlen really made an effort and came up with thousands of dollars, just, kind of shilling the fan base at the Worldcon for the money to give him so that he could recut certain scenes where Blood keeps referring to Quilla June by all of these slurs and slang terms.
Yeah, he called her a cow a lot, right?
Yeah, and he had them taken out. So there is that.
Yeah, I think that costs like $1,500. That's true.
I heard $15K.
$15K, $15,000.
Well,
okay.
I heard. I listened to different stories, them talking about it in different, and Harlen was prone to hyperbole, so it's hard to know which one's true. I heard between
how many zeros?
5K and 15K, but yeah, that's what I heard.
Yes, and
one
hello
of the most
to the Comic Relief Crusader.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Welcome back, Scotty, from the water closet.
Yes.
Water
I had to take a number 3. But this is like one of the worst slurs. Also, I do like this transition of the people who are observing Vic. But one of the worst slurs, and I didn't learn this until I was very young, And the word broad is I think one of the worst things that you can call a lady. And this movie does definitely dispense with it liberally. Abroad.
Where on earth did you hear that? Where on earth did you hear that?
Well, no. This is a personal observation. When it comes to broad,
from Canada,
it is well, maybe it's regional. I don't know.
Yeah, regional.
But the thing is that a broad is a useless piece of meat with a hole in it. And I didn't find that out until I was very young. And I was like, you know what? That's not something anyone should ever call a lady. And Blood does. And so does Vic. It's like, I need a broad. It's insane.
Yeah, he also uses chick a lot, which was the...
Oh, chick is cool. Chick is fine. All right. Well, I like chick.
I'm fine with it.
The one that's really objectionable, personally, that now is like you hear it everywhere, is bitch. And that's the one that kind of, is a bit of a grinder for me. I've reframed it. It doesn't bother me as much. And then I once heard that if you're in Chicago, you can call the cops there pretty much anything you want, and they can take it. But if you call them son of a bitch, you're going to get a very rough ride.
You son of a bitch.
To jail. And then when they get you to jail, they're going to take you down to the basement and beat you some more. And which is kind of interesting. Of all the things you could call them, that's the one that gets to them. Because I suppose it's a slur on their mother.
Oh, that's
I'll tell you about
so
my
they don't mind
mother.
if you insult them, but insulting their mother. I can get it. I get you.
Yeah, but
so I have a question.
These things often can be very regional.
Okay, so throughout the movie, Blood is talking about this place called Over the Hill where the land is normal and you can grow crops and eat and have a good time and the world isn't so destroyed. So do you think this actually exists, or is he just believing a fantasy, or is it just someone talking about a euphemistic vision of heaven or something, and then it's just really death? What do you think?
My interpretation of this is that the majority of the film takes place within a crater. And so over the hill means climbing out of the crater. That's my interpretation.
No, I think Blood's right. There's another post-apocalyptic novel named War Day. And in War Day, there's specific areas of the United States that were not impacted by bombs. And in those areas, life goes on the way it did before. One of them's California, which is kind of hilarious.
That
they just
California didn't get hit? Oh, wow.
In War Day, no. They just keep going on the way they did before. They're turning out the dream machine. But, so I do think that Blood's right. I think even in massive apocalypse, nuclear wasteland, it's very possible there are pockets that are fine. That the bombs can't impact everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. But I wonder how far away it is. We definitely don't see it in the movie, which made me wonder.
But
as to its existence. I'm glad you read up on that. Thank you.
Well, he heard it from a police dog, and those guys are straight. They wouldn't give you any. They wouldn't sell you any shit.
But every time you get to see the wastes, there is always a ridge over the shoulder of our protagonists. And so when he says over the hill.
That's a beautiful observation.
And it could be completely incorrect.
It could be, but
no food, no females.
Yeah, exactly. And so this dog is telepathic, but in learning how to speak and teach his boy how to read and write, or at least how to I don't know, whatever he taught him, and do numbers. He lost the ability to hunt food himself, and that's why he needs Vic to help him find food. Here's some raiders digging for food.
Rovers.
Rovers.
Yeah, scabbers and rovers.
So long as they're not screamers, we're okay. But I do like this, and like there are echoes of other post-apocalyptic movies. When this guy had the guitar, I was thinking about the Fury Road guy with the guitar that shot flames, and I was like, oh, this is the GoBot version. Okay,
GoBot version.
I like the booties, like the medical booties that the Poughkeepsie people, where are they from?
Tulsa.
Topeka.
Is it Topeka?
I think it might be Topeka.
Yeah, here is excellent.
I thought it was Tulsa.
Yeah. It's Topeka, and they're from the underground. Yes, they're observing, and
but I like that they're wearing the paper booties because they don't want to get radiation on their feet. They never say anything about radiation throughout this entire movie, but that was the thing that I was just like, oh yeah, no, they're protecting themselves.
True.
Look
this
at all
caravan
that
would. Yeah, nobody worries about having Geiger counters in this movie. That's true.
Like even Vic is pouring like puddle water into an old whiskey bottle. And I'm just like, that. There's a lot of rads in there. You're gonna need some rad away.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely gonna have a tickety in your gut.
Yeah, and I guess maybe he thinks he's invincible because he's only 18.
Yes. How old was Don Johnson in the filming of this?
Early 20s, I'd say.
That would be my guess.
This is 1975, so I can do math.
Yeah.
I can do quick math.
Yeah, you can do math. You can do math if you know his birth date.
I'm going to find it out.
75,
I'm not married.
So you kind of got to figure it was filmed in 73, probably, something like that.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. If you really want to be precise about it. But good old Don. So cute.
Yes. All the dog wanted was some popcorn.
At the pornography theater.
The pornography theater. Well, is that just because that's the only film that survived, or is that specifically what
in the
they want to show?
novella? It's an actual theater. The landscape in the novella is not just blasted desert. It's an actual demolished cityscape, and there is a standing theater that this particular rover gang organizes and puts on and charges people canned goods to walk in. So it's a lot like this, but it is a formal theater with a screen and a roof and the whole thing. But they have more than one film, but you do tend to see the same films over and over, and inevitably there is a hardcore film involved.
And I guess that makes sense that it's at the end of the night because these are the last movies that are being played. And I hear that they had to empty some junkyards to create this set, which is pretty cool, I think.
That is cool.
Oh, the set design is incredible in this movie.
It's very well done, and it was all done so inexpensively too.
It's like a really, really low budget too.
Yes,
it is. The sandworms are there, you just don't see them.
Exactly. Or maybe this is a prequel to Tremors. We don't know.
Prequel to Tremors?
See, look at that image. That is obviously just something going on with penetration.
Copulation.
Copulation, exactly. The connection of two things. Coitus. Look at the button grabbing. I think this is why I was curious about the nature of the feminine of the species, is that everybody is just everyone is horny. Everyone in this movie. Like when it says on the poster, it's like a post-apocalyptic adventure of the kinky variety. It's like, okay, so all the dudes want to get married, or no, not married. All the dudes want to have the sex, And then when we eventually, spoilers, get to the underground, all the women are just like, I need seed, put it in me. And so it's just like everybody wants what's going on.
Well,
and good
when
for
a
them.
species is facing extinction,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if the girls are really that much up for that. It's just their job in the context.
They're lined up.
It is their job. Well, no, but I think that the committee decides when you get married in the underground.
Yeah. I also saw a comment somewhere in one of the many videos I looked at where somebody made a really gruesome observation that within the context of a pseudo-Christian society, if you married all of these young women to Vic and then after they were impregnated you murdered him, they would technically be widows and then they would be able to remarry.
Oh.
That's why they had to
so
kill
you
him?
neatly get around
That's sick.
the issue of, you know, impropriety in terms of sex, and you get the children, but then they also get to maintain another relationship after that. And I'm like, oh wow, that gives. I mean,
Wow.
I'm surprised somebody thought of that. It really gives me the creeps.
It
Well,
is.
when you
heebie
mention
jeebies.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, when you mention that, you have to also mention that the reason why they needed Vic, why they're luring him in, is because they can no longer reproduce as well. They're having reproductive issues due to living underground for so long.
And the kind of food they eat, very likely.
Beets.
They seem to have fresh produce as opposed to the canned food.
In the novella, Vic observes that the food is all artificial. It's all sort of grown in vats. It looks like one thing, but it's something else.
Oh, no,
That's
really?
worth.
Oh, that wasn't
I
clear in the
I
movie at
can
all.
find
Gruel,
I can find
man,
it in
gruel.
the novella if you want.
Oh, yes, please.
Gruel
No,
and
that's crazy.
possibly corpse starch.
Well, like, and
Oh
this
my
is
God.
one of
Oh
those
my God.
movies.
So
This is-
wait.
I got it right here. Let's see.
Oh my God. So there is
Sure.
It says,
underground.
He says, inside a week I was ready to scream. I could feel that tin can closing in on me. I could feel the weight of the earth over me. They ate artificial shit. Artificial peas and fake meat and make-believe chicken and ersatz corn and bogus bread, and it all tasted like chalk and dust to me.
Sounds like vegans.
Oh my God.
So-
No, I think Tony's right. So in the movie they have a whole graveyard. Like you see all these graveyards and I'm just like, wait, really? They bury people underground here? Nope. There is way more cannibalism in this movie than I thought.
Yeah, right? Weren't you surprised? Like, that's the thing, is that
when there is no food, you'll find food somewhere. And more often than not, that food will be your best friend.
Oh my God. And that makes it even creepier that when they execute someone, they call it going to the farm.
the farm, right?
The farm.
Well, that's
Right.
that's the old euphemism that you tell children.
Yeah,
When
that's what
their
I
dog
thought.
dies while they're at school and they come home, you tell them, "Well, we sent your dog away to a farm."
Yeah.
That's the only
Oh,
context with which I
that's-
heard it. I didn't
He's
hear it as
upstate.
in we're
Yeah.
going to farm you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and yeah, and they even, and this isn't just like they farm the dog. Oh, by the way, what's this lady's name?
Quilla Jones
Quilla June?
Holmes.
Quilla June.
Quilla June.
That's a
Quilla
funny
June
name.
Holmes. Oh,
I'll be
no,
right back,
Oklahoma.
folks.
But like, I admire this actress. I forgot. She is both stunning and talented.
Yes.
I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and in this moment coming up, because like we have our presumptive assault perpetrator aided by his sidekick Wookie.
Her name is Suzanne Benton.
Oh, and I would love to celebrate her entire catalog. But no, it's just funny that like I was like, oh, are we forcing ourselves? Is our main character forcing himself upon this poor lady? And then it turns into a almost Goldfinger-ish seduction scene, which is strange. But yeah, I was taken aback by, okay, so we're on this guy's side. Okay. He just wants to stick it in anything.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, he doesn't really have
Except his
standards.
dog. Except his dog.
Well, that's what
Okay.
Scotty missed by watching it on YouTube. There's a scene that parallels something in specifically that this movie was wonderful. They really took just everything from the novella. They didn't craft anything hardly. They hardly added a thing. But there's a scene in the novella where before Vic goes to assault her, he's watching her undress through some curtains. And they parallel that in the film, and he's just overwhelmed by all of these feelings that he's getting, it's not just grab and get in there. He's enjoying just simply looking at her as a person, as a woman. And
Yeah,
So he
he's
does-
possibly having those feelings for the first time.
yes,
So is he like falling in love?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's a reduction of the creepy nature. You wouldn't go that far. Okay.
The nudity is not as hard as in the fake porn films that they've already showed you. It is through
Oh, okay.
a curtain. So, but it's, and I was asking myself, is that a body double? But I think that she did model in Playboy, so she probably wasn't,
Well, it's kinda
uptight
like-
to do that.
A tasteful seduction, if you will. One of the things and we don't get there until after the Raider attack.
It didn't seem gratuitous to me. It's in the context of the story. He's observing her. She's undressing. She's aware, I think, that he's there. She's doing it on purpose. So it's all within the context of the story. It's not like it's
Right.
these-
She's trying to draw him in. That's her job.
Yes.
That is her job,
Yes.
yeah. I do appreciate that the only time that we see Blood bark like this and bare his teeth is when he's telling June to shut up.
Yeah, because
he-
he's trying.
And
Because
I have something that I could share now. I don't know.
oh, okay. But
I'll
but
let Jill
before
decide if she wants to share it. 'cause
I will share it in
reminded me
just a
of
minute.
This is something I
But-
did just last night for my first time ever. So
okay, I'll show it in just a minute. But I just
Yes.
wanted to put the context of what Scotty just said into frame, because the reason why he's doing this to her, shutting her up this way, is because there's some rovers outside and they're about to attack, and so Blood is trying to come up with a game plan, and he's talking to himself, and she's trying to be all friendly with him and won't shut up. So what are you showing us? Tiger
But
Shirts?
and if I could just
believe
follow
I
up,
shared it, so you can take a look and just see how you feel about it.
I
think
just-
it
I
reminded
just-
me of Blood.
ugh,
It was the first time I ever set off one of these fireworks, but it reminded me of that very scene because of the bared teeth.
was that like a red rocket?
No, it's a poop dog.
Oh,
Yes,
That's cool.
yes. Okay, that's it.
but I do
Red
want
rocket.
to emphasize the fact that like June tries to communicate with Blood, and it is obvious that Blood can hear her and understand her, but June doesn't understand Blood. And so that makes it mildly okay when Vic and June do it, because it's like, all right, she doesn't know I'm watching, but I'm watching and it's gross. This is stupid. I hate it. This is a disgusting display. And I do appreciate that she is sort of oblivious to Blood's thought transmissions.
I do too. That is a good element of the movie. But there is a moment in underground, like Tiger Stripe said, that they sent a dog to the farm where they try to talk to the dog and they expect a response from the dog because he had an interaction with Vic. And and so they do expect dogs to be telepathic in this movie, I suppose. Are all dogs telepathic or just the ones, I guess just the ones that were experimented on? And this was one
Yeah,
of
but
them.
I think that too, whether you have a link with a telepathic link with a dog is a very individual thing. It's all about brain waves, and if you're on the same level there, not everybody can do it.
But it
makes
is such a
sense.
sweet moment when Vic finds the dog, and then he's sort of disgusted by the fact that the dog has a leash on, and that's what is, tried in court. It's like, he was talking to a dog. Oh yeah, well then he's special. Let's find out what the dog
So
has
where
to
are
say.
we in the film now? Are we have we gone to the underground yet, or no? We're still at
No,
the
we're not in the underground. Right now we're
yes,
at the YMCA, and this
yes, the
has been
abandoned
Hey,
YMCA.
it's been dressed
you
up
can
to
have
look like,
fun, young man.
yes. It's been dressed up to look like a hospital for emergency situations. And of course, in disarray. And they're having a fight with the Rovers.
Raiders.
And Blood actually does get
Rovers.
into a fight with another
I
dog.
know. Yeah,
And
that was hardcore.
yeah, it was. Well,
I heard
it
that
turns
they
out,
had muzzles so that
yes,
they had their nails clipped so that they would not injure each other. But that
precisely.
looked like a real fight to me.
It
Not just
did.
play.
No, it was a little disconcerting. I was like, what did the filmmakers do? And I didn't stay through the end credits, so I don't know if PETA was there.
Well, I'm glad to hear that they were muzzled because otherwise that would have been, you know, animal abuse to make dogs fight like that.
Yes.
So we're talking about
And you don't
roving
want to injure
gangs
your
of
star ever.
we've got roving cannibals and sexual assaulters. But the big thing that we're all concerned about is I hope the dog didn't get hurt.
I don't think cannibalism is generally accepted in this particular hellscape. I don't get that, or else they would have eaten that girl as well as at the very
Yeah,
beginning of the film as well
right.
as raped her.
Okay.
They would have drug her
Okay.
body out to consume. So
Well,
whatever that's
okay,
worth, for
then
what the
it's
small
not.
comfort that gives me.
Yeah.
In that
It
case,
gives
then it's
me
not
a little bit
practiced
of comfort.
above ground, but
Yeah.
underground we got the Morlocks.
Yeah. I wish I could hang out with the Eloy. They're better.
Yeah,
Lazy, but better.
and so
Oh, but this is this is an amazing action sequence, and it was lost on me when I saw it on a 1-inch screen. But this is so incredible in terms of the defense of the YMCA. I love the cinematography and setting up the geography of the underground bunker or buried building. This is fun.
It's pretty well choreographed for an action scene. It's well done.
And then when Blood drags over the M16 over to June, that's rad.
He does that in the novella too.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
and she actually uses
And he
it,
goes back for the
and
ammo.
she's a good shot. She's actually able to take some people out with that.
Mhm.
So it's good to see that kind of thing at least.
Yes, she'll be
And
useful for quite a while.
well, and the screamers actually come. Like they pretend they're screamers to get the rovers to go away, but now there's actually a screamer, but we don't actually get to see it because of budget.
I thought
And
that
so we
that
just
was
get a green light.
no, I thought that was Albert doing it.
At first, it was Albert doing it, but that was just to
But
scare
then,
away the rovers. But then
Right.
the real
Yeah.
one comes.
Oh,
yes. And I like it that you don't see it. I think that's just as well. It's kind of similar in the novella. They're referred to but you never actually see them or see them described.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do describe them though. And so this is the
Yes,
extended sex scene.
Do 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 do.
Hey, welcome back.
Do 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 do. Thank you.
And it's actually not it's not completely she's going for it because she wants to be on the committee.
Breeding is an ugly thing. It says the overly sapient lab animal.
Well, yeah, you wonder how he knows so much stuff. How much reading did he do? Did he like get locked in a library?
Was the
learn how to
knowledge
read?
imparted upon him artificially? That's where I'm at with it. Might have been
that might
downloaded
make
into his
sense.
mind.
And the timeline's kind of confusing too. Was blood around before the apocalypse? Did he live through that? It's confusing for me.
And see, even look at the existential, reflection. Hey, I'm the one that's supposed to want to do it.
Well, that's what Vic is saying.
Yeah.
To oh no, hold on just a moment. Scotty, are you here? No, Scotty's not here. Hold on just a second.
No, I'm here. I'm here. Everything's fine.
I have to step away for a second.
Sure.
I'm gonna. Oh wait.
Okay.
I too will step away for a second. So go at it, boys.
Wow. Me and a hungover Tony Stark. That's entertainment. Thank you. Perfect.
Just because I'm hungover doesn't mean I'm out of the the ringer. But yeah,
you're just hanging out in a donut hole.
Truly, legitimately, and I'm going to be doing an after show tonight after I take a nap.
Well, yeah, you have a busy day on Fridays because you've got Overlord DVD doing his Friday night show. Is that going to be happening this evening?
It'll be happening this evening.
And then you have the after show.
Yep.
Which is always a good time. Everyone, if you're not subscribed to Stark of Iron, then you should be. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your mom. Also, if I can be a little bit, we're taking a break briefly from Jill's show, and this is the advertisement part of the program. I am on a one-man crusade to be incredibly selfish. I would like a hot toy of Jennifer Walters. That's right, She-Hulk. It is $314, and I want it. Do I want to pay money for it? No, I don't. So this is where I beg a lot of other people on the internet, and I say, hey, man or woman, give me a She-Hulk. And so if you'd like to contribute to that, I don't know how to do it. I've never done any sort of financial collecting in my interactions on YouTube. But if you'd like to send me a She-Hulk, I would very much appreciate it. In fact, if you'd like to send anyone a She-Hulk, I'm sure that they would appreciate it as well. So anyway, back to the post-apocalypse. Which is the most obvious reference?
Scotty, stop
to Fallout?
e-begging on my channel.
I want a She-Hulk, Jill.
What the hell is going on?
Okay, so
Stop
hey,
and
welcome
think.
back, Tiger Stripes. I'm back too. And Eugene
right.
Bird says blood is a gatekeeper archetype in Joseph Campbell's monomyth. He is just there to lead Vic into his transformation adventure. He doesn't have to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Indeed.
Eugene Bird says after you get it, you won't notice it's there anymore.
No, but everybody who enters a room where She-Hulk is, they'll be like, what the hell? Why is there a gremlin on your shelf? And I'll be like, it's Jet Walters.
I don't know if it's just this particular perspective, but I was struck by how scrawny Don Johnson looks in this pic. And it made me wonder if he lost a little weight for the role or if he was just that scrawny at that point in his life. But it's appropriate for the character.
It is definitely for a post-apocalyptic
there's no
to be a little malnourished.
No fat people in the wasteland.
Oh, what's the character's name? The guy who's the pervert with the big pirate hat. He's a little chubby.
Oh, yeah.
He's definitely eating
That's
okay.
true. He is.
Oh, yeah.
Harlen wrote a prequel and a sequel to this, and he kept that character in. He liked that character so much. That wasn't his original character.
Hey, Darius. Yes, only $314.
Oh yeah,
that's like
the
United States
$150. The character's name is Fellini, which is also kind of a bit of a,
Fellini.
bit of a
Yeah.
slam.
Okay. At the end of the movie, they say he's taking over everything, and so we can't go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but also
Mars Monkey Max in the chat says it was right after Miami Vice. He was strung out on coke.
And Goldie Hawn? Was he married to Goldie Hawn for a while?
No, I don't think you can.
Was he?
Everybody in the 80s who had any money was strung out on coke.
No, it was Melanie Griffith. I always get Melanie Griffith.
Oh yeah, Melanie.
Well, it's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
And then they made that pretty baby.
Hey, Jill! It's been ages since this has happened.
No! Don't highlight that.
All right.
That's spam.
I'm just so excited. It's been such a long time since we've had spam.
Spam bot?
We got
a porn bot or just a spam bot?
Just a spam bot, no porn.
Ah, that is just a spam bot.
What in the ever loving? I thought it's an older script, sir, but it checks out.
It was from Twitch, so it's not actually here on YouTube.
Oh, I was about to say YouTube's getting hit again. What?
No,
that would be crazy.
The wrenches would actually have to bonk people on the head, bonk bots on the head again. Holy crap!
We're hooking up with the Fallout crowd on Twitch. Thank you for following us on Twitch.
Things. Maybe I should get my moderator status back.
Yes, hello to the spam bot on Twitch. Darius Munchausen said.
We must ignore the bots. That obsess us.
All my Canadian money is reserved for strippers in Windsor, Ontario.
I'm telling you, if you drive for 3 hours more, you can go to Guelph, and the quality of stripper is higher.
I would assume then, based on that,
I don't think it's about quality. I think it's about quantity.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, you can get 7 at a time, yo.
Let's just tie up this joke with a half Windsor, okay? Wow, really?
Yeah, really.
Okay. Tony's not funny.
Never go half when you can go full.
Oh, no, we're out of time.
Well, no, Vic is in love, and he wants to take June with them and stuff.
This is such a beautifully acted scene. I love this scene, and the conviction that Don Johnson presents it is amazing. I believed everything that was going on. When you talk about suspension of disbelief, when a man is yelling at his dog or a boy, this was so good with the use of voiceover, the cuts, the performance, the training of the dog, like everything. I don't know how many takes it took, but it worked. It worked well.
This movie does take me away, and it does make me believe that this is a real relationship, that this dog can really talk to it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, June proves blood correct by knocking Vic out with the flashlight.
Yes.
And she escapes.
Bonk on the head.
Escapes? No.
Is it escape? Like,
I don't think it's escape.
Or runs away? Whatever. She goes home.
But she leaves her key card. Like, this is an episode of Space Quest.
Oh yeah, she did it on purpose. Yeah.
Not accidental.
She definitely left the key card so that Vic would follow her.
Did you guys love the sound effect that it was like smell it whenever blood was scanning or whatever the dog does?
The ping.
Yeah, it was kind of rad.
It was effective.
Yeah,
A little.
I liked it.
It was It did what it was supposed to do.
Cinematographically.
Yeah, well, it's kind of an audio thing, isn't it? It
Yes.
lets you know that the dog is scanning. I did find it a little. It's like here. This
I
is
thought it was
what we're going to do,
unobtrusive.
so you know. And they could have done without it. It worked, but it's so electronic. It's such a very specific sound.
How do
Well,
you
maybe
know?
he's a cyborg dog.
Yeah, maybe
that
he's
that
got
just
something
implies
electronic in his body. I don't
that
think
just
so, though.
implies the theory that his knowledge may have been downloaded into him.
Oh, like that dog from the Kings?
like cyber dogs from like Rex.
Oh yeah, Boston Dynamics.
I did think about
blood is all
this is a
organic.
cyborg dog, and I'm thinking, well, he is organic, like he was born.
Hashtag blood
he's
is a
modified.
replicant.
No,
he's not a replicant. He's a real dog.
You see what
But he
you
was
started,
modified.
Tony?
Synth.
Yeah, no, so do I. I sense it too. A great disturbance in the force. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment.
And first he drops that bomb, then leaves. Leave it to Scotty.
Well, no, Scotty is so good at that. He blows up, and then he introduces something really interesting and great, and you want to talk to him about it, and then he leaves. But
the Enola Gay
he
has
just-
dropped its payload.
so it's making me sad seeing blood all hurt like this for Doggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right.
that was hard to watch. I read somewhere, again doing my research just for this, the dog had a rubber band around its paw, and that's what made it limp.
Oh, that's how they got him
Yeah.
to limp.
That's how they got him to
Yeah,
limp.
the weighted paw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, one thing I didn't mention. At one point, Blood says, "Once more into the breach, dear friend," which is, of course, so we know our dog knows Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or
Darius
at the very
Munchausen.
least had Shakespeare downloaded into him.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. The library computer has been downloaded into Blood, possibly. So Darius wasn't kidding. Strippers in Windsor are legit. Yeah, he says to Mars Monkey Max, "I saw one named River who could do Olympic gymnastics. 6 feet up on a metal pole and 6-inch clear heels and breakdance up there." What is she doing at a strip club? She could be in a circus.
Yeah, for that kind of money, you could be in Cirque du Soleil. Although, for all I know, you're making better money as a stripper than Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, that could be true. River tricked me up onto her stage and ripped my boxers out like a magician. Oh my god. I had to return to America Commando.
I'm starting to doubt the veracity of the story
Now, yep, now I don't believe it either.
Too far, Darius, but you had us going.
You did have us going. I believe the previous one, but this one goes. He's a good storyteller.
And I've got the novella up. I can read to you if you want the genesis of the dogs.
Oh, sure, if you'd like to, for sure.
Clearing my throat. Okay, this isn't too long. It's a long paragraph. What he told me wrote was, over 50 years ago in Los Angeles, before the Third War even got going completely, there was a man named Busing who lived in Cerritos. He raised dogs as watchmen and sentries and attackers, Dobermans, Danes, Schnauzers, and Japanese Akitas. He had one 4-year-old German Shepherd bitch named Ginger. She worked for the Los Angeles Police Department's Narcotics Division. Here's some exposition on how good she was. At the same time that Ginger was working 92 miles further north in Santa Barbara, cetologists had drawn and amplified dolphin spinal fluid and injected it into chacma baboons and dogs. Altering surgery and grafting had been done. Aha. The first successful product of this cetacean experimentation had been a 2-year-old male puli named Abu. That was Harlan's actual dog's name and breed, who had communicated sense impressions telepathically. Crossbreeding and continued experimentation had produced the first skirmisher dogs just in time for the Third War. Telepathic over short distances, easily trained, able to track gasoline or troops or poison gas or radiation when linked with their human controllers, they had become the shock commandos of a new kind of war. Ginger and Abu had been Blood's ancestors. He had told them so 1,000 times.
You know, Tiger Stripes having you here is kind of like, it's kind of reminding me of Fallout itself, except you're those little tape recorders. You
Am
know,
I the
little
librarian?
tapes you find.
Am I a robot librarian?
No. If you play
that.
the game, there's these little tapes you find that you put into your Pip-Boy, and they tell you more about the story behind what's happening, what little adventure that you're going on.
Neat.
And
Yes.
that was good stuff.
Tiger Stripes is a holotape, is what Hand Teacher Jill's trying to
I'll
say.
take it.
Well, a library of holotapes. Just like a librarian, yeah.
Oh, I'm okay
so I think you had it right
with being a
the first time.
holo librarian. There's a couple of those in literature that I really adore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Brogu's here. How are you doing, Brogu? Hello, Jill. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm going to do like Scotty, drop you a hello payload, and leave. Enjoy your weekend, Jill, panel, and everyone in the chat. This is the way.
This is the way.
The Enola
good to see you,
Brogu is
Brogu.
dropping another bomb and then leaving.
And
I really need to wake up so I'm funny. Jesus.
you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine, Tony. I've seen this happen before, where you showed up on my channel really tired and messed up.
I
the night
kind of
before.
prefer you this way,
Hey, wait a minute.
frankly.
What?
And by the time
Dull
we can
and-
actually
and
have a
missing
conversation
jokes?
for a change.
I like straight Tony too. So it's good.
It's all good.
Darius Munchausen says, "It's a true story. I don't have video, but I'll never forget. My friend David can corroborate. He still teases me about it."
Well, that girl really should have been in Cirque du Soleil, because anybody
right.
who can snatch
The money
your
must have been
boxers off
amazing.
through your pants, that's a sleight
He's
of
a
hand.
magician.
Yeah, a real magician.
Oh, was it heavy?
But
Yeah, I
video
think
would be helpful.
I'm starting to
As the
believe it.
kids say,
Yeah,
pictures or it didn't happen, man.
but he's got witnesses.
That helps.
Oh, there you go. And forget about her, Vic. Let her go. So Blood is trying to convince Vic not to go down there because he realizes that it's a trap. Because everything was too convenient. But at the end of this, it turns from, "Hey, don't do it," to, "Hey, I'm gonna be lonely. I'm gonna miss you." And so it gets really touching at that point. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movie says, "Have to say this is one of my favorite Harlan Ellison stories, and the movie ain't too bad either. Even Harlan loves this movie. Like it's hard to get him to like anything."
That's really true. I saw an interview with him and L.Q. Jones, the director and co-writer, and Harlan says, "The story really defines me, and the movie is a reflection of that. I wouldn't be where I am and who I am right now if this movie hadn't been made." And I thought that was really lovely. It's very rare to hear Sparky say something quite so sentimental, and also giving somebody else credit besides himself. Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Really sincere.
Yeah.
And yeah, because he set out to do something, and at first there was going to be an animated thing, and he got upset.
Oh, the thing that upset him is that everybody, all of them, the studios that reached out to him, wanted to animate the animal's mouth. They wanted to have blood literally talking.
I think that would
And
have taken away
Harlan said
from
that he
it.
would reply to them like Mr. Ed, and they're like, exactly, and he's like, pass. No.
That would take away from the effect of it, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That,
I
it's
mean,
like,
look at what they do with Garfield. I mean, when they made his lips move instead of him just conveying his thoughts like in the comic book strip, you know, it took away from the effect of Garfield. So, you know.
Yeah, and in this movie, it would take away from the intimacy of the friendship that Little Boy and his dog have.
But, you know, it's pretty typical that a Hollywood producer does not know the meaning of the word telepathic. It's just one part of that don't you quite get.
They often confuse it with telekinetic.
Or telephone.
Yeah, and he didn't exhibit any telekinesis in this movie. Oh my goodness, it always surprises me when thank you to Eugene Bird for the 1999 super sticker.
Wow.
With a little Bushiba waving a #1 flag. #1. Woo. Garfield wouldn't even give up Charlie M. Who's Charlie M? Does anybody know? Let's do this. I gotta play some videos for Eugene Bird and also for let's see, who's giving me presents today? It's been Max Redstone. He gave me a super chat for $2. Darius gave a super sticker for $4. And Eugene Bird, thank you for the 1999. And I've got some videos. Let's just play them at random. I'm not even gonna look at which one it is. Let's see. Like a spinning wheel.
All I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by.
Don't you think you better check with me first?
Captain.
Jim! There are certain things men must do to remain men.
Like getting washed in a tub.
Like getting washed in a tub.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've heard washed.
That's a really great word.
Well, yeah, that's has Vic ever had a bath before?
Oh, wow, good call. Probably no.
Or later in the movie, I love the line where he says, I need to get back out there in the dirt so I can feel clean again.
Scrub, scrub here, scrub, scrub there, whether you're tan or bronze, a man can wash another's back in the merry old land of Oz.
Well, sorry. Okay. No, don't be sorry. That was totally fine. It was appropriate to the scene. So this film
look at
won
these
the
guys. They kind of look like munchkins. I mean,
yeah. I wonder why they put makeup on them like that. Like why this was their style.
I would like to know that. Yeah, who made the decision behind that? I get it. I get what's going on, but it's an odd choice.
What I do know is that a lot of the extras come from a military base. That was nearby. But
I know where there's this game called not to derail the stream too much. We Happy Few, and they wear makeup like this, and they live in a very dystopian, more of a Big Brother society where they take pills called joy to basically keep their moods uplifted and provide hallucinogenic happy vibes and rainbows and feelings whenever everything is actually depressing. And
like Soma in 1984.
Yeah, like Selma in 1984. Yeah.
Oh, Brave New World. I'm sorry.
Brave New World. So I think that
and they
these
wear makeup like this too.
They wore makeup like that, yeah. Captain Not Finny. Oh, like Xanax. Yeah, exactly like Xanax. Or martinis, or both.
Is that a particular game, Tony, or a novel?
We Happy Few. We Happy Few. Yes, it's a video
Wow.
game.
Oh, video game. Got it. But then they probably were reflecting on this.
Yeah, because the makeup that they have that they wear is very much akin to this mannequin-esque makeup that these guys are wearing in the underground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, their rules are really strict in this underground. You can say the wrong thing and be killed. And just the context that you're going to be transformed into food stuff. I don't even know if that's true, but
Corpse
it's really
starch
creepy
is
to think
food.
about.
Corpse starch is food.
Awful. Man, I need to read these books to see if I agree.
Soylent Green, yum.
Yeah, until everybody
And
finds
the fact
out.
that the committee presents lies to the general population to explain these executions.
Right, I think we'll
There's
make this
level
one a
there
heart
that's
attack.
Pretty eerie.
Yeah, so yeah, they say the last ones were killed by farm equipment, so let's make this one different.
She looks
But
like the Joker.
everybody has that kind of makeup.
It's that purple
the little
pinstripe
mask.
suit though that she had too. That purple pinstripe blazer she had. It was very
And the
Joker with
green,
green
the purple and
undershirt.
green.
Yes. I'm the speaker for the committee.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And so this film won a Hugo for Best Presentation, which went to the writers and director of this movie, which was L.Q. Jones. But Harlen Ellison was like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, why don't you include me? This is my story. So he got one, but they didn't have any of the actual awards left. So he just got a base. And so he always says that he always said that he has 8.5 Hugos. And I don't know, Quilla Jones is showing up pretty soon. He's gonna be upset about not getting on the committee. That's all she wanted.
Horse manure. The solution was horse manure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely very self-serving and ambitious.
The farm. Prepare to buy it.
But she's also, she's good with the gun. She has an interesting character, I suppose. For as long as she lasts. Peter Sellers hated the colors green and purple. The more you know.
The more you know.
And so this is where they execute the dog for, being a dog. I don't know. It seems pretty messed up. What did the dog do? Just because it's telepathic, I guess it was guilty of something and it wouldn't talk. And there's our android in the movie. We don't find out until a little later. He's an android, but hey, he's an android.
He's a synth.
He's a execution machine. So they say, oh no, a heart attack got them, but really it was this android who kills everybody. And so maybe it's kind of, how this post-apocalyptic world is very immoral. The underground dwellers are just as immoral, but they use technicalities to say, oh no, we're good. We're totally fine. We didn't kill anybody. This android did it. And we just make the androids and engineer them.
That's very Institute. Very, very Institute from Fallout 4.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. I didn't think about that. They are a bit like the Institute. And uh-oh.
Tiger got duck a death.
Tiger Stripes. Okay, hopefully she can return.
Man, the Duck of Death has been bad lately. They even sent out a little tab on your StreamYard home going, would you like to answer a few questions for us? And I'm like, no. I'd rather make clips about how you guys suck and get people in my chat to laugh whenever I get booted from my own show.
Yeah, no, and I've been having trouble with it lately. It's been freezing and it's been resetting my chat and then I lose my place or I lose chats. It's gotten a lot more buggy in the past couple of weeks for me. How do you even think about trusting a woman named Willa June?
You don't.
Oh, spoilers. Oh yeah, sorry, Franco.
The movie is 40, 90, not 40, more like 75, 50 years old, 49 years old. Ish. Yeah. I can't math right now. Sorry. But
no,
yeah.
you got it exactly right. You're precisely correct. You're good.
But point is, if you're going to complain about spoilers for a 50-year-old film,
oh, he was kidding. He put LOL next to it.
I know. I was dragging out the joke in a very
speaking of the Joker, oh my god, did you see that?
It does look like the Joker, doesn't she? Look at her laugh over there.
She's laughing because
her wide laugh.
She's laughing
the
as
scene where the
Vic
light
learns
bulb,
about why he's there.
The scene where the light bulb goes on for him that they want to use him as a stud, and he kind of, whips his hat off and does a gosh, body language thing, and then squares his shoulders and comes back. The whole thing was very evocative for me of a little James Dean moment, probably from Giant, but just the body language and the head angle, just for a second there. I have to wonder if that was accidental, or I kind of doubt it.
Oh, you think he was inspired by James Dean? I think this was a good scene.
In that moment, yes. Nice. In that moment, yes.
Speaking of impressions, if he was doing an impression of James Dean, and I do agree with this, Tony does a good impression of Mark Hamill's Joker.
Thank you, Eugene Bird. Happy to serve.
As often not brown bread by before 50. Oh, I guess maybe I missed some context there.
She really looks like she's about to get the Batman.
This post-apocalyptic world could use a Batman. Oh no. Okay, so they've tied up Vic and they're pumping his seed for use.
Yes,
they
are extracting
his semen for the women because they cannot get pregnant by the current crop of men that they have. So they need new men. And as creepily described by Tiger Stripes earlier, he's only going to be used 24 times and then killed. So that
again, that wasn't my idea. It's just something I found in comments that made sense. It made sense.
Yeah, it's like so then by killing him, you were saying that then they would be able to remarry?
Yes, because they are technically marrying all these women to him, then that would make them widows. And when you're a widow, you can remarry. So there's like a warped logic where there's nothing wrong with that.
But I do like the part where she is frees Vic. So she realizes that she's not going to get on the committee by herself, so she's going to use him.
In the novella, Quilla June, this scene is not like this. It's not all cleanly done medically with a machine. It's pretty graphic and it's very violent. And Quilla June is not a nice person.
Oh, so she's a little better of a character in the movie?
Yes.
She's not a good person. Nobody in this movie
better
is a good person.
too. In the novella, this scene is pretty brutal. It's graphic and ugly and very violent.
That's so wild to me because they're despicable people already. And so to hear that they're even worse in the book.
Yes.
Wild. Franco Walker says, yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. Oh, sorry. Wrong semen. Yeah, well, this movie is full of really dark humor, and it doesn't come across in our reviews because you don't get to hear all the dialogue and everything. But definitely watch it; it's good, very entertaining. And hello, hey! Speaking of very entertaining, we have Pop Culture Curator in the chat. How are you doing on this Friday? You know, in the book, Deckard is a human. Yes, this is true.
He's only human on the printed page. But he's not human in theaters, they say.
Yeah, I agreed. Although there is some contention on that, but just watch Doomcock's video about it. He explains everything perfectly.
The man's a replicant. Was put to bed epochs ago.
I'd say also review the entire channel of Captain Infinity, but that's not there anymore. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that, Curator. We'll pray for you, buddy. We have radio silence again.
Oh, yes. I am sorry. I was distracted. Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad you can hear me. I am checking something with the chat.
Mm-hmm.
He hit that so many times. He probably doesn't need. She just need a sample. All right. Yeah, she doesn't. She's already gonna have.
Depends.
It depends if she was ovulating or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you guys
not every day,
about this?
all month long?
Did you guys ever see Barbarella?
Of course.
Yes.
So I thought that this was the equivalent, like when Vic is getting milked, for lack of a better term. I was thinking of the orgasm organ from Barbarella. I was like, oh, this is torture. This is death from pleasure.
Death by snoo.
The
Yes.
orgasmatron?
The orgasmatron.
That's a way better word for it.
Well, I think that's what Woody Allen called it in his science fiction film.
I've never seen Sleeper. I want to, but I've never seen it.
And they use that kind of machine in other science fiction films as well. But they're
it was
not
also
supposed to be something that kills you. No.
Well, yeah, it was also in as Tony is referencing, also in Futurama.
Mm-hmm. Death by snoo.
So, Pop Culture Curator says that he's in the hospital until next Tuesday, and that was something in the chat that I missed. And I'm so sorry to hear that.
You know what? I'm happy to hear it simply because that is the safest place that you can be, sir, and your speedy recovery is on all of our minds. Like,
Well,
come on, man.
and maybe possibly the food is better. Hopefully the food is good.
Do they have Arby's?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't. Some hospitals do have restaurants.
Yeah, but probably
as
not
they
an Arby's.
say. I'm thinking Arby's.
And I'm thinking you don't get to pick where we eat anymore.
I'll have you know that if I want to, that's grade D meat, right?
Well, then that meat did better than me in high school.
Well, I mean, great grading of meat. A lot of people.
How many
are
steps
turned off by low grade.
above that is dog food?
Dog food is
Depends on the dog
grade.
food.
Yeah, I was about to say that does
this
vary.
day
If
and
it's
age.
like some old Roy, like bottom of the can stuff, it's probably like a grade E. But like, there's some dog foods that could be considered grade C meat.
Well, it's good enough for Mad Max. It's good enough for me.
At the end of the day, man, if the bombs fall and we end up surviving, first and foremost, Lord help us. Secondly, better get used to that dog food, pal.
Yeah. And beets.
And beets.
And beets.
I ain't eating beets no matter
Nobody
how hungry
eats
I
beets.
Well,
Remember that
the illiterate people eat beets because they think it's a can of peaches.
Somebody clip that. Only illiterate people eat beets.
Now, listen here, son. I consider myself a bit of an educated individual, all right?
Stupid, filthy beet eater.
I like my beets.
Thank you for playing. Moving on.
Yes, moving on. Exactly. That's what we're
Donnie.
doing. We're moving on. Running
Moving
away
right
from
along.
trying to run away. But we're gonna go through a sequence of Quilla June trying to convince Vic to kill the committee so we can be the committee. And
this is so Fallout. It's perfect.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I love so what's happening during the movie is that in the background there's this intercom that is just blasting out recipes from the committee almanac. Here's how you cook bacon and hash browns. During the chasing, yeah.
You know what? Like, do you put it says a dash of salt, but I don't cook bacon with salt because
it's already full of sodium.
Exactly. Yeah. It's totally unnecessary. So that's why I don't like this committee almanac.
Yes. The only good thing about it is it does instruct you to reserve some of the grease because that's good.
Next thing you know, they're going to be serving green beans with their spaghetti. Like, I just can't get behind that.
Yeah. You're never going to let that live down.
Hey, no.
Oh my goodness. And so they're going to have a committee meeting right outside.
Well, it seems like that's where they just do it. They have the lights. They got the phonograph. Farm. Send them to the farm.
And yeah, so she's still trying to convince him. They're all right there. They do leave themselves vulnerable though to attack by just having their committee right outside.
Well, and she herself gets sentenced to the farm in this meeting.
Not just her, but all her friends. All her friends are being executed right in front of her.
Yes.
It's horrible.
By
I do love dinner and a movie.
All these disappointed brides.
They're just waiting.
There are the brides all in a line. Not gonna get preggers because the man is no longer fine. Or something.
Did he does sort of he searches the cabinets and does he grab his seed?
No, he doesn't. So they still have his. They still can impregnate some of those girls.
So those ladies could eventually become spunk monkeys. We don't know.
Insemination on the underground nation. Insemination. Everybody get laid. Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the committee doesn't die, so everything goes on.
So the character design of those three guys, it was clearly inspired by the Three Stooges, yes? Not the committee, but the three that are killed by the T-600.
I didn't notice that, no.
No, I didn't either.
If you check out the three guys, they do look like the Three Stooges. And this is lovely. in when June is like, okay, fine, let's just get out of here. This is insane.
Yeah, she what changes her mind? Is she just like, okay, you're not going to kill them?
The
Let's go.
Terminator.
She hears them say that they're sending her to the farm.
Oh,
Yes.
yes,
She
that's
hears her
it. That's
she
it.
hears her own death sentence.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
And then they're
I forgot
also
for a second.
having that robot murder the other 3 kids there that were
there's
helping
Mo.
them. So it's pretty clear that.
Oh. You know what? And I was curious about the white face paint. And I thought it would have been a little bit more impactful if there had been, another nationality, or another ethnicity who had been white face painted. I thought that would have been cool. But no, this movie is not diverse.
No. Some of the rovers are a bit diverse, but we barely see them for half a second.
Yeah.
I've been watching Atlanta, which is really an amazing series. I love Donald Glover deeply. There's a school kid sitting in a schoolroom, and the schoolroom is it all black kids? Is it a black elementary? It's largely black. And the kid is wearing whiteface, and it's just a riot. And he's driving his teacher nuts. His teacher is in the teacher's room, and she's saying, I cannot take that kid wearing whiteface one more day. Somebody restrain me. Somebody go in for me. I can't stare him down today. And he's just sitting there waggling his eyebrows, just waiting for somebody to say something.
So yeah, we do end up destroying the robot. Yeah, it's a GD robot. Nice alien reference.
Okay.
But yeah, and it takes like all of the bullets. That's one thing that I found this post-apocalypse to be a little bit lacking in, was the conservation of ammunition. Everyone's just shooting. No one reloads.
Yeah.
There's only one thing that could have made that scene better with the robot dying. He should have been like,
thumbs up.
I had one simple dream. A dream of killing all the humans. Who's the 500-foot tall monster now? Not I.
Good night, sweet
Who
prince.
needs the quickie? No, but like, and the thing is that I do appreciate that right after, like, the committee is not at all concerned with the death of Michael, the Terminator. And they're like, can we get another Michael from production and tell those engineers to wipe that damn goofy grin off his face?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't yeah. It's definitely just Michael is just a tool of destruction to make them feel better about their murder.
Yeah, he's literally a box robot on tractor treads in the novella.
Oh, nice.
Like Box from... He's just a murder bot. A bot that can grab you and take you, and a bot that can tear you to pieces.
Oh, like you're saying like Rover, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's actually kind of cool. I wish they did that in the movie.
See, I'm glad
it's a little more... It's more impersonal.
I'm glad I left during the part of the movie review when you guys were without blood, and now I'm back and blood is here. This reminds me of Futurama. This reminds me of the dog that waited.
That did remind me of that too.
Oh, so sad.
Oh,
yeah.
You had to go there.
I think it's appropriate. Dude, I like, as everyone who is a fan of Jill's channel knows, I was a boy and I had a dog, and then he expired. And so watching this, I was just like, oh, I miss Snoopy. And so when he was still there, like, I remember this from the first time I watched it, but I was just like, oh, I know who's walking off into the sunset. And that's the best part. And so I was so happy to see blood again. And it's like, okay, we got to do. And then someone got between a boy and his dog. And so we had to feed it to the dog.
Yeah, it's very clear throughout the movie that Quilla, she's in it for herself. She doesn't really care about Blood. She wants to leave him behind.
Well, Blood hates her.
Yeah. Although
She can't know that.
Vic lies to her and says
That's true. Yes.
that Blood likes her.
Yes.
So, but
And
in any
there
case,
was the
No, my best friend likes
where
you.
he calls the dog by its actual name, Tiger. It works within the context of the movie. I don't have a problem with it, but it's a
I like it too. It does work.
Yeah.
It's like a pet name.
Yes.
Yes.
But Quilla never understands why Vic cares so much about Blood and not her. You found a lady to be with forever. Why won't you care about me more?
And it's
she
such
just
an
never gets it.
interesting slow side eye that Albert gives her.
Vic.
Yes.
But Vic does say I'm not hungry, so he does not partake in cannibalism.
No.
Apparently a lot of other people in this movie do.
Let's not be naive. I think he ate her.
You think he did?
He does not.
I don't think so.
No, I don't mean
expressly
consume.
clear.
I mean that
he
when they
cooked
were
her.
when they were doing the coitus, maybe he had done the fellatio.
So doubtful.
You don't think that he was a considerate lover?
I didn't see that. Well,
come on.
You always like to insert acts of things without any proof.
This is a kinky movie. It says so in the poster. I'm allowed to say
You didn't even
things.
get to see the sex bits because you watched it on YouTube.
I saw the censored version. You're right. I'm sorry. I'll sit down. Maybe that's my imagination is running wild.
Get a hold of yourself, Scotty. No, not that
Oh, I
way.
will with 2 hands.
2 hands seems excessive.
Good grief.
Yeah, no, it's not a good time for anybody unless you're a pole vaulter.
Okay, so this panel, for example.
I like this panel, for example.
Okay, now Bender. Yes, I did like.
What the hell do you want, meatbag?
There's that line.
Yeah, there's that line.
What was the line? What was the line?
It's a line.
The last line of the film.
Yes. I do love that. Them chuckling to themselves for being how clever they are.
And
walking away.
The last,
hopefully.
The last lines of the novella.
Please tell us.
Vic
What
is
are the
saying,
last
we
lines?
had to move slow because Blood was still limping. It took a long time before I stopped hearing her calling in my head. Asking me, do you know what love is? Sure, I know. A boy loves his dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's incredible.
I don't know that there's any way to do that in the context of the film, because this is something that Vic is clearly thinking to himself, and they're not doing that in the film. You don't hear inside Vic's head in the film. So, I don't know if you can express that. And Harlen did say that he was he went to several colleges where he watched college audiences watch the film, and he said that every guy in the audience loved that last line. So even though he hated it, he said he understood that it worked in the context of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And
it did
that's
work.
a lot coming from him, because he says he hated that line.
Mm-hmm. I do like the book line though too. That was a good
yeah.
It's a little more heart.
Yes.
It
also shows you that he had genuine feeling for Quilla June. This was a, sort of Damocles. It was a judgment for him.
Mm-hmm.
He could only save one of them.
But, okay, so I'm of 2 minds. And the first one is, That is a really dark closing quote or sentence for a novella. Yeah, I know what love is. A boy loves his dog, implying that the dog was more important, and thusly we kill you.
The dog is dying, and the dog has to eat.
Right. And the prize that that Vic has wanted the entire story is right in front of him, and it's like bros before hoes, yo. But I do appreciate in the film, like let's be honest, I haven't seen the film or read the book, and at the end of the movie, when it's just like, oh, she was of good judgment, which is an affection from blood, but not of good taste, which is also thanks for helping, but she tasted horrible. And it's a backhanded compliment, and then they chuckle and walk off like best friends forever. That's a Kermit and Fozzie moment, but it is the darkest implication. Both, I think, what you've described from the novella and the film. It's just like, holy crap, the post-apocalypse, even though we've had this adventure, this is terrible.
Harlen was a dark writer. He was.
Yes.
He called himself speculative fiction, but a lot of it's just kind of outright horror.
Yes. But that's...
Yeah, definitely. Sci-fi horror. It would have been even more of a horror if they could afford to get those screamers on screen and some of that. I know it's good that, in a way, your imagination makes it scarier than it would have been on camera. I get that.
Yeah.
But there would have been a bigger horror element with it.
What were the bad guys' names in Firefly? Like the crazy...
The Reavers.
The Reavers.
The Reavers. Like, the Reavers were so much better when you didn't see them.
Yeah, agreed.
Almost always true.
Mm.
That unknown aspect, the unknown terror. Ghost ships full of mad cannibal psychos, drugged out of their gourds, ready to rip you apart and put your skeletons out there as hood ornaments was very enticing. I love the Reavers, love the concept of them.
They live in Winnipeg.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Could be worse, could be Quebec.
Quebec is a beautiful city.
I never got that they were drugged, personally. I thought they had the space madness.
Oh no, a big red button?
A shiny candy-like button. Wait, what?
Huh? No, but so all in all, what are you thinking?
So what'll happen? Let's just eat. We don't know. Maybe something bad. Maybe something good.
I love that so much.
My favorite scene in that episode
never gets old.
Still has to be the when he's eating the bar of soap. And he's like monologuing, like he's just having this philosophical ramification.
Oh, he's actually doing Shatner in places there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's actually doing a Shatner impression.
Oh, my little ice cream bar. How I love to lick your creamy center.
I have this theory that Twinkies are just cornbread with icing in them. Anyway, what did you guys think of A Boy and His Dog?
Well, it's good eating either way.
The boy or the dog?
You figure it out.
Thank you very much. No, but like out of I've seen this movie twice. The first time it was not visually stunning, but I admired the work of the actors on an auditory level. Again, on a screen the size of my thumb. But then seeing it again, like, it's really good. Like, it's a good movie. I'm giving this one like an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give this one like a A-.
If I were to grade it, I'm going to have to go with, and I'm probably going to get ostracized for this, but I'm looking at it from a critical standpoint. I'm gonna have to give it a just a straight solid B, and the reason why is because it was directed towards a niche audience at the time. It was experimental. You could tell that they were taking chances with the film, and some of the events that happened during the film didn't land as good as they could have if they had experience pioneering this new type of genre in cinema. But overall, because it's a spearhead, because it's something that's fresh and new, it kept people watching. Obviously, it's a cult classic now because, again, back then, as Tiger Stripes was mentioning earlier in the stream today, getting to see a film like this back during the times when it was came out was needle in a haystack. So it's
Fresh.
we were veritably blessed to be able to access some of these not so well known pieces of cinema and review them, and so yeah, that's my take on it.
That's a completely fair review.
I don't
What
know
do
what
you
the
think,
fuck you
Tiger
just
Stripes?
said, little kid, but you reached out and you touched a brother's heart.
Oh, I have to give it an A because of my love for Harlen, my abiding love for Harlen. It felt a little flat for me just as a film, but it's L.Q. Jones's first directorial feature, I think. And given that, it's amazing that it holds together so well. I feel like the visuals, the shots, everything just could be better directed, tighter to show the flow of the story and the action. And yet, it was his first film. It was a shoestring budget. He kept so close to Harlan's novella. I mean, and seeing it again now and then having read it, it's uncanny how close he stayed. That just almost never happens.
Right.
And I have to give him big props for that. I also have to say that for a long time, I did conflate L.Q. Jones as an actor visually with Lee Van Cleef, but now I think I can tell them apart. Now, because of my research into this, and I listened to him and Harlan talk about the film, and yeah, it's a solid A. It created the whole Mad Max franchise, and clearly lots of video games. It had a huge, resounding impact through the years.
That's the only part that I'm sort of
and it won the
back.
Nebula. It did win the Nebula. It was nominated for the Hugo as a novella. Did not win the Hugo. Did win the Nebula, and the Nebula is the literary award. That's the one the writers all vote on. So when something wins the Nebula, that usually means it's got something going for it, and it really does.
The film got the Hugo, and
the film got the Hugo. The novella got the Nebula, which is an important award as well.
That's a really great review. I'm going to agree with you with the A. I think because of its impact, because when it was made, it was unique in its genre, and it inspired so much. There have been so many things besides even Fallout and Mad Max. There have been so many. A whole genre was created here with this movie. Is pretty incredible.
No, I will also add that anything with the talking dog always has me right from the get-go.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I have a weakness for cute animals. That always works for me. So, and I also like it because not every story has to have a hero. You do care about the dog probably the most out of anybody in this movie, because but because everyone else is kind of more of a jerk than he is. So I do appreciate that they dialed his misogyny back a little bit, even though they still are. They still are, but they I'm glad that they fixed they went back to redub some of his lines.
What are you talking about, misogyny? I can't wait to go and check out this issue of Playboy that the co-star was in.
And I'm not calling the movie itself misogynistic. It's just the characters within it are. And no, because it's just an expression of what terrible, how the future could be terrible.
Yeah. What if people were resources? And specifically, what if women were resources? Like that, I found that permeation throughout the entire film to be like, wow. That's why I am kickstarting a campaign to make my own independent film. It's called A Man and His Dog. The continuing adventures of Albert and Blood, where he is basically Conan the Barbarian.
I also love this on and wrote a prequel and a sequel to this, and I have to say,
he beat me to it.
I have not read them, and I'm going to.
I would love to.
But the sequel sounds particularly engaging to me. So.
And
it's when another Michael comes after them because Jason Robards is pissed off.
Oh, are they making an army of Michaels?
No, not an army. We don't have that much money. We can't have an army. Like, we'll get 3 Michaels. How's that? Michael J. Fox.
Yes, that's good.
Michael Keaton and Michael Rappaport.
I'm in. I'm funding this movie.
Yes.
Okay, so
I don't think that people will be available, so we'll have to get the action figures. By the way, that reminds me. Never mind.
I love how the whole attitude of the movie shifts when they go underground. It's exciting. It's kind of like, what the F is this? It's also confusing the first time you see it anyway.
But that was part of the reason why we sort of switched gears, because you and I had been planning on doing Shaun of the Dead today. And I was like, isn't there like a 4th of July thing that happens in A Boy and His Dog? And they do, like the band, they play Stars and Stripes.
Americana going down down in the underground.
Yes.
It's eerie and mechanical and feels weird and hypocritical, which is, I think, the point.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, clearly they don't have freedom of speech in the underground.
Oh, what are the 3 crimes that everybody gets they all become guilty of, like inability to conform, distaste for authority,
failure to obey authority.
Yes. Like, I have all of these things.
Lack of respect, wrong attitude.
That's me.
So the farm, immediately.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to the farm.
It did sound like they gave them 3 shots. 3 strikes, you're out.
Yes.
You were warned. You were warned on several occasions to change your way so that, to help the continued growth of our beloved town or state. And so, yes, it's a bit shades of Landru, of the body.
Yes.
But without the computer actually controlling them. They created this government.
Well, that's why it seemed like a vault.
It was exactly like a vault. That's the inspiration for the vault in Fallout, for sure. By the 3rd grade, he was a goner. Wait a minute. Hello, DJ Play Nice. Hey, he's here. When did you get here?
DJ Play Nice.
Let's find out when DJ Play Nice got here.
Or are we scrolling?
I'm scrolling a bit. Yeah.
All right. Well, and that's because we appreciate the chat. Not you, Finity. Sorry, that was funny.
That was a joke.
It was a joke. But yeah, no, everybody, it's so good to see everybody. Shut up. That was good. Come on.
Well, you know what? You need chat. It worked.
You need the yodeler. You need the yodeler song.
I do need the yodeler.
Yeah. I give Tony's review an A.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whenever you do something new, you're going to make those mistakes because it's something new, and you strike when the iron is hot, and that's how you refine it into steel. So it's not taken away from the quality of the film for it to have a lower rating because of these pioneering mistakes that, you know, like the length of the film, pacing is a little off sometimes. Very polarized set pieces for both first and third act. You know, so it's not like it's something that's taking away from the overall quality of the film, because a lot of people here have given it an A. So you know, don't take me giving it a B as me going, well, I'm nitpicking.
No, I didn't see
it's
that
just,
way at all.
You're cool.
No, I can understand
I
that.
didn't
It
even
is
know
his
you gave
first
it a B.
outing. It makes sense that he'd make some mistakes.
And Harlen was kind of coming apart at this point in his life.
Cocaine.
And I think that Harlen struggled with mental issues, and he was open about that himself. And that kind of thing often hits a person in their 30s. And it was not like him not to be able to finish writing. Writing was what he did. It was what he was good at. So that he couldn't finish the script is kind of weird. That he let L.Q. Jones make the film is really remarkable to begin with, because he gave him like $200 or something, you know, for the rights. You know what I mean? The fact that it all came together at that moment in time is just, it's such a confluence. It's of remarkable things.
Agreed.
Yes.
Jill, can you bring up that last chat by DJ Play Nice? I want to wrap this.
Where's Richard Dawson? I heard that beep beep sound. Hashtag survey says.
We asked 100 chatters on YouTube the following question. Where is Richard Dawson? Okay.
He did.
And of course, his answer is probably making out with somebody backstage. So survey says that's
chain
one
smoking
answer,
in hell.
57.
Is he chain smoking in hell?
Are you gonna play or pass?
Well, I just got a strike. I can't answer again.
Oh,
Penny is leaving the building. Thank you for being here, Penny. Thank you so much.
You know, maybe I should actually do a YouTube Family Feud show. I'm gonna try to get that situated. That would be a nightmare to micromanage, but
yes,
that would be
fun.
But
if you can do it,
pull it off. If we could pull it off, man, holy crap, that'd be so fun.
But the only problem is that how many questions are in a Family Feud? You'd have to go out and actually ask 100 people.
Well, we would do it via polls and a few shows out here
but
and
the
there.
Questions,
Twitter polls.
The questions are invalid unless that they get 100 answers.
Exactly, but we can conglomerate our polls and get to 100 answers.
I don't. That sounds unsanitary.
It sounds like it might be a rigged game, but you know.
Oh, I love rigged games. I lose them.
But I don't know, man. I mean, there's this other idea that I had for Holly Woke Squares, but we would need a full panel of 9, and then we would need one to be the host and 2 members of the chat to be the contestants.
Well, we need Nichelle Nichols to be the center square.
Nichelle Nichols was a good center square.
Yes.
You know, Cardinal Sin wanted to be Paul Lind whenever I was talking about Holly Woke Squares with him. He's like, I want to be Paul Lind.
Yeah. I kind of want to be Louis Anderson, but I got to start eating.
But imagine just, doing a Hollywood Squares like that, And obviously you can use your avatars. You can use your avatars with an X or an O. Or if you're on the camera, you can hold up an X or an O. And, just play Hollywood Squares, Hollywood Squares, but with funny pundit laden jokes.
I'm intrigued.
For half an hour. I mean, this is something that I suggested this to Gary Ambrosia about 2 years ago. That's how this project has been in the cloud that long.
Well, hosting a game show, trivia, or something like that's a lot of work. So you want to do it. You gotta, a lot of prep.
Yeah, at my high school prom, I was voted most likely to host a game show. So I didn't take it as a compliment at the time.
It would work now.
Well, no, it wouldn't. I don't have prizes.
Oh, that's true. You don't have. Yeah, you do. You have an entire library of DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah. Oh, what? You want me to start giving away my children for your entertainment?
No.
Scotty wants to be a
Needs to have stuff.
contestant just so that he can win his She-Hulk figure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I want to be a contestant because I want to win, and then I'll lose, and then I'll Charlie Brown walk home in the rain. Yodelady, 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 yo.
The only game that you want to play The Price is Right is Plinko, but knowing your luck, you'll hit 0 4 or 5 times.
No, I'm just gonna throw them like frisbees. I won't know how it works. Anyway, enough about me and my idiocy.
Hey, hello to Sentai Ranger Donnie. And
Donnie boy.
Guardian of the Grid.
I think we did a pretty good job reviewing
so
this
too.
movie. I mean, there was so much to it, and there's so I just enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you introduced it to me. I had no clue this thing existed until last year, and I'm glad it's in my life now.
You know what we have to do now, and I think
What's
Tiger
next?
Stripes would agree with me, is like, and it's not next, but like, we do have to find like a third Harlen Ellison story that has been adapted to the screen to sort of close out our Harlen Ellison trilogy.
Oh, well, you have to do one of the Outer Limits.
Then I'm fine with that.
Either soldier or demon with a glass hand. Probably.
I want to do
Demon with a
demon.
glass hand. Me too.
Demon with a glass hand.
There we go. We just.
But soldiers.
That's a
good
great
too.
idea.
Or both of them.
We could do both. We could do both. They're only hour-long episodes, right?
Make it. Yes, they are.
Make it a double feature.
Oh, that's another nice thing about this movie. It's so good to go back to movies that are an hour and 30 minutes.
Yes.
Instead of 3 or 4 hours. Come on. Why do they do that nowadays? It's
A Boy and His Dog,
yeah.
Part 1.
Well, I mean, sometimes it adds. It really does add stuff that needs to be in there. I think the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, you need that extra stuff in there. Otherwise, you're going, what happened to so-and-so?
Oh, you come up with the exception there. That is an exception. Yes, I will sit there for all of those, all of those 12 hours. What is it?
Yeah, it probably is close to. It's probably more like 10, but
I have a
maybe it's
finite
closer
amount
to
of
12,
time
I
on
don't
this
know.
earth. So.
And what's more, I would love to do those 2 episodes of Outer Limits because a lot of people out there still bang on about how Cameron didn't steal a thing for Terminator, and once you've watched those 2, it's so obvious that he did. And I always want people to know about that. You know, it's like, no, you know, they're not just making that up. He did. And he said as much to people, you know, at the time.
He was sued into giving credit.
You know, so it would be great to watch them, and then we would be able to talk about that as well.
That would be rad.
The City on the Edge of Forever was Ellison's finest hour. Yes, and he was so upset about it. But he still took the awards.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the original.
He didn't change his name on the telecast.
No, he didn't.
And that,
he didn't.
You know, is his stamp of approval. If he left his name
no,
on it,
his
that means
no,
that he wasn't that unhappy.
Yeah, because he got paid. The check cleared. If there is one thing that
there
Harlan
were many,
Ellison loves,
many pieces of work that Harlan wrote for television where he changed his name to Cordwainer Bird. He had it in his contract every time that he could.
Did he get paid?
Yeah, you get paid just the same.
So, but there is only one thing that, and also I'm sure that the award had something to do with his keeping the name. I love Harlan Ellison. I don't want to speak ill of him, but when I think of the word shrewd, that is the artist that I think of.
That's not an insult.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I have reverence for Harlan Ellison. I love the man. Rest his soul.
I think this movie was a really great exploration into morality and stuff, and I really love
morality
it.
and stuff.
Morality and stuff. Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
And I
There's
do
a
That
lot of
sounds
stuff
like
in the
it sounds
movie.
like an ice cream flavor.
Well,
Were there any prior novels that established an apocalyptic wasteland like that? And I can think of
I'm sure there was
Guns of
some.
August.
novels that were post-apocalyptic, so far post-apocalyptic that the civilization is then medieval. But I don't know that I can think of anything that was very specifically immediately post-apocalyptic with that.
Well,
with
one
the
of my favorite
hardscape.
Twilight Zone episodes is when.
Well, those are Harlan too.
Those
Well,
are.
I mean,
Okay.
the Outer Limits are. Oh,
Okay.
are you thinking of the Twilight Zone with Charles Bronson and Elizabeth Montgomery? Because that is definitely post-apocalyptic.
Oh, I want to see that. I haven't seen that. But
so
Jill, you were
good.
saying, what did it remind you of?
Hold on, I have to step away for a minute, and then
No.
we're gonna wrap up the stream. Just a couple of minutes.
Yes, but
That sounds.
somebody taught me once that's how you can do an impression of Charles Bronson is simply by saying his name. Charles Bronson. You have to kind of hold your teeth together and have it come from behind your teeth.
This ain't over.
Charles Bronson.
It's good impression. It's good impression.
It's not bad.
Tony, do you have a Charles Bronson impression? You're a king of impressions. No is always unacceptable.
Bronson.
No,
Not
not
even
even
close.
close.
Not even.
But, E for effort.
Good try.
And you
like,
do so
way
many
to go.
others so incredibly
Yes.
well. Yes.
You will not be on the shot put team.
It's quite all right. We don't have to, have winners. With
It's a
everyone.
great James Mason.
Yeah, and I did see a quote from Harlan again while I was deep diving all this, where he always liked to kvetch and complain about how younger people didn't get all of his references. So he was talking to a crowd at a convention, and he mentioned Shangri-La and Lost Horizon and Ronald Colman, and all of those went right over people's head. And he's like, come on, Ronald Colman. You know who Ronald Colman is, don't you? And nobody did. And I think that's reasonable. Back in those days, we couldn't just put a movie on.
Mm-hmm.
You either saw something when it was in the theater or, re-aired in a theater, or maybe was on television if you were lucky enough to catch it on the Late Late Show. So, yeah.
It's so interesting just to think back on that. Like, because I was a kid once, and it is so interesting to think that if you wanted to see it, it would be on TV. They would re-release it in theaters.
If you were lucky.
That's it.
That was
if
very
you were
rarely
lucky.
done. That was very rarely done.
But that's why that's why a James Bond fan like myself is so ecstatic about things. And when I see like reviews, because James Bond paved the way, because they were money makers, and they would release them in theaters every now and again. And same deal, like Superman and James Bond, and later on Star Wars and Indiana Jones, they would show up on TV. But I wish I had a VCR, and it was just such a special occasion. Now you can get
now
everything.
It's all there for you,
saw
everything.
a boy and his dog on YouTube. How much did it cost me? Nothing.
Yeah. And I started watching it that way, and then I went, okay, let me just search on the Roku, and I found a far superior print that wasn't cut, and so I'm glad somewhere else. But you can watch it on YouTube.
I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray for the
You
nudity.
need to buy the
Although
Blu-ray.
Kids, you're gonna get no
for the nudity.
Yeah.
Not just for the nudity. I think there's also a commentary, which might be where some of the trivia came from that I learned that I can't corroborate, because it must be where it is. It must be on.
Oh, you found it on YouTube with the commentary.
Oh, you did?
I'm saying you did?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I
But
did
I'm
find a
saying
commentary
the Blu-ray
between
has it.
Harlan and L.Q. Jones, specifically about A Boy and His Dog, and it was pretty remarkable because Harlan stayed on topic through almost the entire thing, and it was over an hour long, and that's very unlike him. So he was very focused.
I love Harlan Ellison.
Yeah,
I just want to reiterate that.
Me too.
Well, except for that time he
him.
grabbed somebody in the middle of an award show.
He didn't try to grab somebody. I was actually present in the audience. I felt like laughing, like guffawing, like, and then I noticed that everybody else in the audience went, but I was present. I can give my spin on that if you want it.
Yeah,
it's
please
not.
Well,
tell
It's,
me.
no
I've always
time
heard
like
that
the
he's
present.
grabbed
well,
somebody.
you can watch it. It's all on YouTube, and you can judge for yourself.
And you were there.
And I was there. I was present in the audience when it happened. And I'm kind of
So-
sorry now that I didn't just blurt out laughing, because I thought they were doing it on purpose. I thought it was a gag. I thought it was a shtick that they had practiced. Because she was treating, this was Connie Willis, who I adore as a writer. She's wonderful. And she's also a very nice person the few times I've encountered her. But she is brilliant. But she was on stage with Harlan during some sort of presentation, and she was treating him like a small child, one assumes because of his height. And you don't do that to anybody. I don't
rude.
think it's and apparently she had done this before. It was a shtick that she would do, where she would sort of cuddle him and stroke his hair like a baby and pat his back like a baby. And so he just sort of crossed his eyes and reached out and touched her boob like a baby. I mean, I thought it was funny at the time. I do wish I'd laughed because, it might have put a different spin on it. Who knows? But when you hear a whole audience go, oh, you realize, I guess maybe I shouldn't be laughing right now, but I wish I had.
Yeah, because the
it wasn't
way
a
I
grope,
always hear it is
wasn't an
that he
outright
grabbed her
grope,
boob.
It wasn't a sexual thing. It was within the context of what she was doing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have it coming to have that happen? Again, I thought it was something something they had planned at the moment, and you can watch it. You can watch it all on YouTube and judge for yourself.
Thank you for that perspective.
Yes.
Maybe I'll go check that out.
Yeah.
And
I just want to clear the air there.
Hey, that is a fantastic way to end a discussion on Harlen Ellison. Something
That's
like
right.
That. And so I just want to go around and talk about what you guys are up to next. And
you don't want to know what I want.
We'll convene again next time to talk about something else that's really cool and fun and have a good time.
Yes.
Tony,
So,
this is
wake up, little guy.
Yeah.
You've had a big day.
Well, wait a minute.
What do you do?
You first.
Oh, am I first?
Okay. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
of
Well,
course
no,
you
you
are.
weren't first, but Scotty made you first, so now you're first.
I did.
Here you go.
Hi. I sing songs, I do voices, I do transcript readings, I keep the party going after Friday Night Frolics over on Overlord DVD's channel for those of us who are on the other side of the planet or those of us that don't know what sleep is. Speaking of which, I will be getting intimate with sleep here in just a few minutes after we are done here. We do have a Fallout discussion show on Sundays and the Tower After Hours interview series in the same vein of Johnny Carson, David Letterman, or Jay Leno for an hour, complete with laugh tracks, commercials, and false, like in-universe like product placement. So yeah, we do a little bit of everything over at my place. We had a very fun party, 4th of July party. It was the first time in a long time that I got that loose. Don't expect those often. Stark parties are going to be very, very rare. Yeah, so we hope to see
did
you
it for
all.
America.
I did it for America, and I did it because I wanted to see everybody. And that party ended up being so successful. I mean, 300 views. Almost.
I know. I saw that. You are the star-spangled man with a plan, Tony Stark.
I see what you did there.
I know. It was clever.
It was a great variety of fun. Good.
It was. We did a little karaoke. We had some discussions, had a few drinks and a few laughs. It was great. And but Stark parties are not going to be like, we're not bringing. We learn from live from New York. We learn from that. I'm glad that everyone had fun. We actually met some new people.
Maybe you should consider doing them at a reasonable time instead of after an after party.
Well, the after party and the Stark party are two different things.
Well, and the man has a job, so he usually does
and I work,
night
and it's a
works.
second shift job that makes it very difficult for me to stream prime time. Like very difficult.
Do you have a forklift license?
It's expired now. I haven't needed to drive.
Oh, I was going to see if we could fight forklifts.
Forklift wrestling. Hell yeah.
It'll be like Joust, but dangerouser. Anyway,
But
you were saying.
I do a little bit of everything. I both voice acting, and I've gotten into doing some transcript readings more. I recently had Alistair read The Telltale Heart on a Radio 616, which was completely hosted by him. And it came out really, really good. It came out really, really good. It was very Vincent Pricey. Very Vincent Price. So, just stay tuned. We always have something new. And
awesome.
Shout out to Sean Carter and
Max
Headroom GPT, who are now part of my creative team.
And big shout out to Mark D with a C.
And Mark D with a C is not part of my creative team. I'd like for him to
no, but I like him. I just wanted to, as long as we were shouting people out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then are you ready to go, Scotty? What's going on with your internet experience?
Well, first things first, if you would like to, I would recommend checking out Cinema Gulp, because he's doing incredible work, has been doing it for about 8 years, and it is rad. He lets me on his live streams, don't know why, and it's fun. Also, the Phantasmagorium, Steve and Kat, who are both very good friends, and they put up with my shenanigans, and they are knowledgeable about film, and I talk to them about it. Obviously here, Jill, amazing. But most importantly, and the thing that I came here today to talk to you all about, is that I have a dream. I want a hot toy, and it is a 1/6 replica of Jennifer Walters. That's right, She-Hulk. Don't let the haters influence you. Just because I have love doesn't mean that my love isn't valuable. And I want a She-Hulk hot toy. I have no idea how to make this happen. There is no Patreon. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, but I want one. Well, no, but I don't want to pay for it. I just want it.
Oh, well, that I don't know. I mean,
so if you could put yourself down for $60, we can buy She-Hulks for everyone.
Pass. But you should get.
No, that's you know what? That's usually what people say. That's usually what people say.
Yes, I'm passing on that too.
You're racist against green people.
No, you go, Guy. You get yourself that big green muscular girl.
I will. Right. She's gonna ride me like an amusement park.
And that's false. This is not true. Lest anybody think I don't love green women. I do very much.
What, like in the butt?
This. Scotty, come on.
It's Friday. We got to get down on Friday.
No, you could just stop right now.
I will. I will stop right now.
Every thought that fleets between your ears does not have to come out your mouth.
I've been watching a horny Don Johnson.
Now. He was really hot, though.
He was, yeah, more fit than I.
That face.
Yeah.
So I do. Well, I was trying to get Orion dance here, but I don't know where I put it. Do you know where I put it?
I took it and I put it in my pocket, and it's moving currently.
Yeah. Oh, here's one.
Oh.
I think I keep one over here.
Thanks. Better be Yvonne Craig.
Oh no! You know what? I have to clip that. I don't have her. Oh wait, maybe I do.
You're looking in the wrong drop-down menu.
Where is it? Where the hell
can a guy get a green girl in this place? This is ridiculous. I'm not even going to find it for you. You got to find it.
Oh, wow. Rude.
I know. It's going to take longer.
You just need them green tinted glasses, like in Oz.
Oh, that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Then everybody's green.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's not easy.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
Where is it? So, talk about something for me real quick. Oh,
Well,
right.
how
I can talk about
you
something.
just
No,
give
Tiger
up
Stripes.
on?
No.
All right.
No, Tiger
What?
Stripes.
Well,
Tell me. Yeah.
Tear loves Tiva. Repeat. Tear loves Tiva. Repeat.
No,
Oh, that's so
I was
creepy.
Yes.
going to.
There you go,
put up-
Scotty. There's a blue girl for you.
Oh, but I wanted green.
Now. You'll
All
get
right.
your green girl. We have green girls at home.
Yeah.
You get what you get. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
I sing karaoke here, there, and everywhere, and I love it more than I know how to say. I really enjoy it. I'm working on content. One of these days, I'll start putting some content up. You know, getting by, really enjoying watching Atlanta, really enjoyed season 3 of The Bear. You know, loving life, living and loving life.
Awesome. And speaking of living and loving life and green girls, see, I do like green girls.
She found it.
Extra green.
I found it. I don't know why that was so difficult. But
it's not on your mind the way it is Scotty's.
Yeah, I got green on the brain.
Scotty just never stops thinking about her.
Yeah.
You know, that's actually one of the first questions he ever asked me. Who is your favorite green character? And
wow. I thought I was just, shooting from the hip, and apparently I nailed it.
No, Jill and I have met before. She understands my psychosis.
Well, she remembers the first exchange you had. That's love.
Oh, well, one of them. Anyway,
one of them.
Tuesday, I'm going to continue talking about For All Mankind. We're going to look at season 1, episodes 5 and 6, which I've been told are amazing. And yeah, so far I've enjoyed it, and I will continue to do so. It'll be a good time. I'm not sure what I'm doing next Friday yet, so I've got to think about it.
But we have a 50-50 shot.
Of what?
Well, it's either I don't know how early you want to do Insurrection.
Oh, Insurrection, right.
Or if you still wanted to run with Shaun of the Dead. So I guess what you should do in the community is see which one people want.
I'll decide.
I think.
Oh, well, you are a goddess. I forgot.
Although that would be nice to give everybody a choice. I'll think about it. Okay. Obviously, there's not enough time in this live stream to put a poll in the chat because we're.
I have 7 more hours. I don't know what you're complaining about.
I'm going to close the stream in about 2 minutes, so I'll think about it. That's a good idea. Maybe I will put it in the community tab. We'll find out. But until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. I hope you have a wonderful nap, Tony. I hope Pop Culture Curator gets something good to eat and is comfortable, and everybody is treating him well at the hospital. And we love you, and I hope everything's okay.
Prayers for Curator. Prayers for Curator.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to be back and strong.
Yes.
Here's the link to the after party after Doomcock tonight, Jill. If you want to go ahead and save it in case he gives it the go ahead to post at the end of his show tonight.
Oh, of course. Here you go. You send your address to what?
Is that your Tinder profile? I can't believe
No, I think this is to you, Scotty.
Oh, I don't know where it is.
Do they have Western Union up there, Scotty? In
Holy
Canada?
Emperor, you got a bite. Oh, wow. Scotty R37.
I think so.
Wow, you put it out into the universe, Scotty, and Eugene.
Yeah, but this is the thing, Eugene.
For you.
I don't want your money. I want the doll.
My God,
okay.
You are terrible.
I am terrible. No argument.
Anyway, the link to the show is in the chat.
Oh, shit.
That's what I was looking
Jill,
for. Here it is.
Jill, you have that email address. I will send the email.
Yes.
Eugene Bird, I
Things are
don't know
happening.
why you do the things that you do, but I'm not going to dismiss the things that you do. Thank you. Yes.
Eugene, you're spoiling that boy.
I am
Eugene is
spoiled.
incredible.
No, but one of the best things that you have ever said, Tiger Stripes, is why do you baby Scott? And it's because I'm a baby. So yes, I will. I do see that, and I am going to highlight it, copy it, and
Well, maybe
request
that's
that you. I'm going to
you were
e-beg
supposed-
for a Jen Walters doll.
You were supposed to have to wait till Christmas. What's going on?
No, but things are moving too quickly.
You deserve
Look
it
at
because
that,
how much
man.
you
Eugene Bird right
entertain us.
there. Right
Because
there,
of how
man.
much you entertain us, Scotty. How much
I don't know,
joy
but that's the funny.
and-
That's the whole funny, is that I don't deserve it. And why would anyone give me a She-Hulk? It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
Let
But then
Eugene do something nice. You put it out there.
Well, no,
and
that's
the
what I'm
universe
trying
is delivering.
okay,
Well,
and
yeah,
I want
no.
this. I
And that
said
was
I
the thing.
wanted it.
You
It's
did
a
say
gift
you wanted it.
horse. It's a mouth, and he's
Yes.
staring right at it.
I am. I don't. You know what? This horse has feelings.
Well, because this whole thing was supposed to be a joke. Like,
It
why
is
would-
a joke. It
why would
still
the plan
is.
work?
And the punchline is going to be me holding Jen.
That's right. She's going to have to be in the background in every video you make.
Well,
from
her
now
face
on.
doesn't move, so she's going to look the same in every
Oh,
picture.
there's some more community news here. Aside from the exciting news for Scotty, LGG says, just FYI, I was told to let everyone know that Bird might not be streaming today. He is resting, if anyone was worried. Resting? Okay, well, what's going on? Is he not feeling well? Is he okay? Yes, hello, LDG. But thank you for that bit of news. Usually I do tell people to go watch Bed Life, but if he's got to take a break today, I can understand that. And I hope all is well. And that he's, maybe all the fireworks kept him up. They did for me. Oh, okay. Maybe he needs a nap. Tony needs a nap. We got to go. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
And
thanks for the live stream.
And yeah. And
hey, y'all.
Everybody have a fantastic Friday. See you later.
Toodaloo.
Bye. Thank you.
Learn all that is learnable. And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.
See you around the galaxy.